Chapter 1097. Young man, do you want me? I am the sky splitter, huh? The heaven-splitting divine axe trembled a few times. Just as it opened its mouth to call out, it could no longer see Wang Kai's figure. Hey, young man, don't go. Let's chat. The heaven-splitting divine axe called out loudly. The axe shook violently, causing the entire mountain to crack, splitting it in half. Damn, this Kunlun realm is nothing much. It's just a broken axe, and it still has the nerve to ask Ben Shao if he wants it. I want it, my ass. Hearing the cry behind him, Wang Kai was speechless. He could not be bothered with it. Not to mention the heaven-splitting divine axe, if he wanted it, he could have anything. Young man, this axe sees that your aptitude is amazing, and your appearance is outstanding. You must be did you get matched by a fool? Why are you following Ben Shao? Weren't you having a good time with that mountain? I see that you went deep into the mountain, Wang Kai said with a frown as he looked at the huge axe flying beside him. He was speechless. Had a good time with a mountain? Went deep into the mountain? The moment Shao Chen said that, the heaven-splitting divine axe nearly fell. It said sorrowfully, "Are all the young men nowadays so weird? This axe is so handsome. What kind of beauty have I not seen before? Is there a need to do that with a broken mountain? You are so handsome. Damn, you are all chipped. You must have been beaten up quite badly, right? You want to hang out with Ben Shao and call yourself the heaven-splitting divine axe? Do you think that the heaven-splitting divine axe will have a chip?" Wang Kai said with disdain as he frowned. Densely packed gaps could be clearly seen on the surface of the enormous axe. Even the edge of the axe was jagged and extremely damaged. No, you've misunderstood. The destruction of this axe is all because of that old bastard Pangu. He himself turned into the starry sky of the universe, but he left this axe on Mount Kunlun. At first, this axe was nourished by the essence of heaven and earth of Mount Kunlun, but after the evil 10 gods came, all the gods perished, and Mount Kunlun was also occupied, causing this axe to have no energy to absorb. Sigh, let's not talk about this anymore. The more we talk about it, the more *king tears it will bring. The heaven-splitting divine axe sighed. 10 evil gods? Who were they? Is it that bad *SS? Wang Kai's eyes narrowed slightly as he asked in surprise. Was this how the 10 evil path gods killed all the other gods, and the surviving gods fled in panic? The Azura god is the leader. Below him are the 4 ferocious gods, Hundun, Taotai, Taowu, and Qiongqi. Below them are the crimson gold hydra, the 100-clawed sky sparrow, the Go-Shinli fire whale, the northern underworld triangular rhinoceros, and the most mysterious Li. This ferocious god called Li is not known whether he is a human or a ghost, or even a demon or spirit. In short, he is formless. Only Azura has seen him, the heaven-splitting divine axe said. However, Wang Kai had a strange expression on his face as he stood in midair. Ben Shao doesn't know about the other ferocious gods, nor has he seen them before. But how did Hundun, Taotai, Taowu, and Qiongqi become so awesome? Back then, Ben Shao beat Hundun into submission. Hundun was even sent flying by Ben Shao with a kick, Wang Kai said with a frown. He was speechless. You beat up their descendants, right? The ones in Kunlun's field are the ancestors, the strongest. Any one of them can defeat all the gods. If it's a one-on-one battle, the gods can use their unique treasures and techniques to restrain them. What's scary is that they will always gather together. That power is simply too terrifying. We can't beat them at all, the heaven-splitting divine axe said with lingering fear. Azura god Hundun, Taotai, Taowu, Qiongqi, the crimson gold hydra, the 100-clawed sky sparrow, the Go-Shinli fire whale, the northern underworld triangular rhinoceros. Li. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and secretly memorized these ferocious gods. Then, he asked indifferently, what are their realms? How much higher are they than the Great Sage? The Great Sage? 4 realms higher. Moreover, even if you reach their realm, it's not easy to defeat them because their abilities and power are too special. Without a powerful magic treasure, it's very difficult to restrain them. Of course, if you have this axe, you can kill Azura, provided that you have the primal chaos triad chi. Otherwise, it's useless, said the heaven-splitting divine axe. Chaotic 3 pure chi? Wang Kai grinned when he heard that. He didn't care much about this technique. Instead, he was extremely surprised by the way the heaven-splitting divine axe spoke. Have you been to Earth? Or do you often steal Benshio's words? Wang Kai frowned and asked rather speechlessly. Earth? I haven't been there, but the gods who escaped there always talk to me in dreams. They talk to me like this, the heaven-splitting divine axe said. As soon as this was said, Wang Kai shook his head and sighed. Earth really killed people. What kind of society is this now? All kinds of languages, all kinds of girls, all kinds of grass. Host Big Fatty, don't say anything bad about Second Fatty. As the prompt suddenly sounded, Wang Kai's face suddenly darkened. He activated his mind and snorted coldly. You mean to say that Ben Shao is also one of those people who harm people? Host, that's more or less what I mean. Young man, if you're only in the Great Sage realm, you'd better turn back quickly and run back to the chaotic realm. If you cultivate there for another 100 million years, you might have a chance to compete with the 10 great evil gods, the heaven-splitting divine axe kindly reminded him. Cultivate for 100 million years, just 5 realms. The corner of Wang Kai's mouth twitched when he heard that. He smiled rather proudly and said, I'm not afraid to tell you that as long as Ben Shao is willing, he can reach any realm at any time. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Really? Then why don't you break through to deity and let me see? The heaven-splitting divine axe said in surprise. Deity? Is deity really that awesome? Is it the strongest? If I remember correctly, Ben Shao can defeat deity with a single finger. Wang Kai shrugged and said rather casually. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Cough cough. Deity is the lowest. Above it are demon deity, specter deity, Tao celestial, and the strongest, heaven-splitting. The heaven-splitting divine axe said speechlessly. Deity, demon deity, specter deity, Tao celestial, and heaven-splitting. Wang Kai's face darkened when he heard that. He asked weakly, how many grades are there in each realm? Is it the 9th grade? No. Each realm is divided into 4 grades: intermediate, advanced, and great perfection. However, if you want to break through each grade, you'll need at least 10,000 years according to the most powerful god, said the heaven-splitting divine axe. Intermediate, advanced, and great perfection, 10,000 years to break through each grade? And that was the fastest among the gods? F***ck, isn't that a little too weak? Or is Ben Shao too powerful? Wang Kai said rather speechlessly with a twitch of his lips. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Some fellow Taoists said that this book is about to end, but I am very serious and very responsible to tell you that it is far from over. Who knows, I might even go to Earth for a stroll. Who knows, ha ha. Chapter 1098. Boy, you're even better at bragging than that idiot Niu Zhetian. The heaven-splitting divine axe said. What? Who? Who are you talking about? Niu Zhetian? Hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes narrowed, his expression filled with shock. Yeah, he's the god of the black tortoise in the north. We're old friends. I heard that he erased his memory and went to the mortal world to show off. He was beaten up like a bull, the heaven-splitting divine axe said. The god of the black tortoise in the north, Wang Kai grinned. No wonder he met so many divine beasts down there, such as the azure dragon, the white tiger, the black tortoise, the vermilion bird, the phoenix, and so on. They were all kicked out of Kunlun's field. No wonder such divine beasts would appear in the immortal martial realm, which was a trashy place. I'd better reach the top of the 5 gods level as soon as possible and defeat all the evil gods. Then I can go back and hug my wife. It would be even better if I could go to Earth. I haven't seen stockings for so many years. Sigh, I can't help it. Wang Kai shook his head and thought to himself. What's your level now? Are you really the great sage? The heaven-splitting divine axe asked. Yeah, the great sage level 11, Wang Kai replied. Level 11, the heaven-splitting divine axe was speechless when he heard this. His tone was filled with disdain. You're just the great sage level 11. How dare you come to Kunlun's field? F***ck, are you kidding me? The heaven-splitting divine axe said disdainfully. I'm here to beat you up. Bang. Buzz. Rumble. In an instant, Wang Kai slapped the heaven-splitting divine axe and sent it flying. The impact caused the mountains to crack. It was quite a shocking scene. How heavy is this? Wang Kai grinned. He didn't expect the axe to be so heavy. Wang Kai curled his lips and said disdainfully, The gravity is good enough, but it's too bad it's trash. You call yourself the heaven-splitting divine axe? At most, you can use it to split open mountains. It's not even as badass as this young master's finger. Congratulations to the host for bragging successfully. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Host, Wang Kai profession, Warrior of Chaos formation breaking level, Great Sage level 11 cultivation method, Divine connection, divine connection, divine connection, chaotic myriad formation portrait martial technique, divine void hand, divine command formation breaking technique equipment, divine chaos swallowing halberd level, power of God ocular technique, divine illumination, torch dragon's eye bragging points, 16400 experience. 360000999999. Hearing the notification, Wang Kai felt helpless. He opened the system and glanced at it casually. He was speechless when he saw that he still needed 640,000 experience points to break through. Looks like I can only choose to kill the demonic gods to break through. After thinking for a while, Wang Kai furrowed his brows and asked, Are you dead or not? If you're still alive, then get your ass over here and tell me if the 10 fiend gods have any underlings or whatnot. Bring Ben Shao over and let Ben Shao destroy some trash first. Congratulations to the host for bragging successfully. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. The 10 demonic gods must have their own tribes. Their numbers are terrifying. Each tribe has a few hundred of them. As for the weakest, cough cough, even the weakest is stronger than you. The perfect deity is the weakest. Buzz. The heaven-splitting divine axe shook and floated up into the sky. Wang Kai's attack couldn't hurt it at all. It didn't even feel pain. By terrifying numbers, you mean there are only a few hundred of them in each tribe? Wang Kai grinned. He suddenly had the urge to smash it. A few hundred isn't terrifying? The weakest is the perfect deity. There are only 10 of them in each tribe. The rest are demon gods, ghost gods, or even demonic gods. The heaven-splitting divine axe said fearfully. There were only 10 deities in each tribe? The rest are stronger? Wang Kai's lips twitched slightly when he heard this. If that was the case, it would indeed be troublesome. There were 10 human gods, and each cultivation level was split into 4 levels. How much experience would a level give? Would it be enough for him to break through to the perfect deity or the demon god? He couldn't be sure since he hadn't killed one yet. Which tribe is the nearest demonic god from here? Bring Ben Shao there, Wang Kai said with a shrug. You're really here to be funny. What are you going there for? To get yourself killed? Are you looking for a beating? You're just a great sage. You won't even be enough to fill the gaps between their teeth. That's not right. Maybe your cultivation is too weak and they don't want to kill you, the heaven-splitting divine axe said disdainfully. Wang Kai's face darkened when he heard that. He glared at him and snorted, compared to Nyo-Jatian, whose defense is stronger? Defense? Compared to Nyo-Jatian? Regarding this, the heaven-splitting divine axe carefully made a comparison. After a long time it said, he should be a bit stronger, but his attack power is a lot weaker than mine. It's not, slash of all living beings. Bang. Bang. Before the heaven-splitting divine axe could finish speaking, his body was sliced in half by Wang Kai's palm. Both halves fell to the ground. Even Nyo-Jatian is afraid of Benshou's move. What are you talking about? If you don't want Benshou to cut you into pieces and throw you into the territory of the 10 great evil gods, you'd better bring Benshou there, Wang Kai said with a shrug. That's Azura's move. How did you learn it? Are you Azura's clone? The heaven-splitting divine axe asked in astonishment. The move of the Azura demon god? All living things cut. Hearing this, Wang Kai couldn't help but be startled. He really didn't expect that the martial skill he learned from the system would be the move of the leader of the 10 great demons, Azura. What about this? All living things cut. Buzz. With a casual swipe of Wang Kai's hand, several mountains were neatly split in half. All living things cut. This is Ruthless' move. Are you Azura's clone or Ruthless' clone? The heaven-splitting divine axe exclaimed. Ruthless? When Wang Kai heard that, he frowned. Suddenly, his eyes lit up. He stroked his chin and said with a smile, Benshou has an idea. Tell Benshou what Azura looks like. It would be best if he could show it to Benshou. Brat, are you toying with this axe god? You are Azura's and Ruthless' clones. Why? If you continue to talk nonsense, Benshou will cut you into pieces and throw you into the cesspool. Wang Kai snorted impatiently. Buzz. Hearing this, the heaven-splitting divine axe did not say anything else. It was so frightened that it immediately sent out a burst of power. Then, a picture appeared in the air. On the picture, there was a huge, blood-red, ghost-faced giant god with 2 huge red wings. What caught Wang Kai's attention the most was the blood-red halo behind the Azura's head. One of his claws was holding a chain, while the other was holding a sickle. Beneath his feet was a blood-red skeleton. Within the eyes of the skeleton, there was a boy and a girl sitting upright. Chapter 1099. This is the leader of the 10 great evil gods, Azura? Wang Kai rubbed his chin and looked at him carefully. He was shocked. Indeed, the appearance of this Azura was indeed very frightening. If such an appearance was placed in the mortal world, it would probably scare people to death. That's right. What are you trying to do? So what if you know what Azura looks like? If you can't defeat him, you can't defeat him, the heaven-splitting legendary axe asked curiously. When did Benshou say that he wanted to fight with Azura? Wang Kai shrugged and smiled playfully. Then, he secretly communicated with the system and said, Transform me into Azura. Host, you can rely on the power of God to gain the power of Azura. You can transform into Azura and your actions will be different. The only difference is the power of both sides. The power of God's protection could also be used to obtain the power of Azura. Demon God is one of the God blessings? Wang Kai frowned when he heard the notification. He waved his hand and said, God blessings. Demon God. Azura. Buzz. In an instant, Wang Kai's body grew bigger and bigger. He was transforming into Azura. Seeing this scene, the heaven-splitting divine axe was stunned. Then, it cried out in alarm and turned around to flee. F*CKU Azura. How dare you use your avatar to fool me? Just you wait for this godly axe. Sooner or later, I will chop you into pieces. Even after the heaven-splitting divine axe disappeared, his voice continued to echo in the valley. His voice was filled with fear and anger. Buzz. At the same time, Wang Kai, who had transformed into Azura, put his hands in front of his chest and said, This world will be destroyed because of me. All the gods will fall because of me. F*CK. It can't be? Azura has such a habit? Wang Kai, who was halfway through his sentence, was speechless. Just now, he had acted out of habit and used Azura's catchphrase. Azura demon deadly skills. All beings slice, feather shatters the firmament, wind whirls the gods, death shift, swallow the heavens, rebirth, tooth hunt, soul-destroying slash, heartless thought murder weapons, soul-crushing god locking chains, soul-reaping Avicii scythe, demon god godhead, giant bone demon, life and death boy realm. Great sage 11th grade. When he saw the system page that suddenly appeared before him, Wang Kai's blood-red eyes immediately froze. He could not help but say in surprise, I did not expect Azura to have so many vicious techniques. They even have 5 vicious weapons. The soul-crushing god-locking chain and the soul-reaping Avicii scythe were held tightly in Wang Kai's hands. The demon god's godhead was a blood-red halo floating behind his head. The giant bone ominous demon was the giant skeleton beneath its feet. As for the life and death children, they were the boy and girl in the skeleton's left and right eye socket. Azura alone had so many fighting skills. Who knew what the giant bone demon and the life and death boy's abilities and moves would be? Wang Kai could transform into an Azura, but he could only use the Azura's moves. Whirlwind gods! Buzz! Suddenly, Wang Kai flapped the giant blood-red wings behind his back. With a flap, a gust of wind rose. Blood appeared in the wind, causing the mountains below to fall into ruin. It was not a direct hit, but a destructive corrosion. It was clearly visible that the mountains were corroded into powder. At a glance, it was a desolate scene. Hiss! Seeing this scene, Wang Kai could not help but suck in a breath of cold air. He had to admit that this move was too ruthless. If it hit the body of a living creature, it could destroy countless lives, right? Feather shattering the firmament. Whoosh! Whoosh! Immediately, Wang Kai flapped his wings again. With a flap, the surrounding void was directly torn apart. The space that appeared inside was a blood-red color. It was completely different from the normal space. When Wang Kai stepped into it, he was surprised to find that he could see everything outside from the inside. He could also analyze the context of everything. For example, the mountains and trees that had turned into powder. From the powder, he could determine their original appearance. Looking from afar, he could see the escaping heaven-splitting divine axe. Moreover, on the body of the heaven-splitting divine axe, there were tiny veins that looked like human veins. If I hit the veins, no matter how strong the defense of the heaven-splitting divine axe is, it will still shatter. Such a thought suddenly appeared in his heart, and it caused Wang Kai's expression to be stunned and extremely astounded. It was no wonder that the heaven-splitting divine axe, which had a powerful defense, fled when it saw that he had transformed into an Azura. It turned out that from the beginning, the heaven-splitting divine axe knew that no matter how strong its defense was, it would be no different from having no defense in front of the skills of an Azura. Death position transfer, allowing others to die in your place. Devouring the heavens, devouring the heavens, devouring all things, reaching the realm of instant regeneration. Hunting teeth, teeth that can crush the heavens. Soul destruction slash, once hit, the soul will not be able to enter the cycle of reincarnation and will completely perish. Heartless thought. Damn, it can directly control the hearts of others from a distance? I can crush the hearts of others to death with a casual squeeze of my hand? After fully comprehending all the skills, Wang Kai could not help but gulp. He suddenly felt that the martial skills he had used before were too childish. No wonder Azura was the leader of the 10 great evil gods. All of his skills could easily destroy the heavens. Easily destroy gods. I wonder how fast it is? Giant bone demon. Roar. Whoosh. After Wang Kai gave the order, the giant bone demon under his feet roared and moved to where the heaven-splitting divine axe was. Not even a breath's time had passed. Wang Kai could not help but be stunned. This was not Azura's own speed, but the speed of his mount, You've gone too far. The heaven-splitting divine axe roared angrily. In the past, Azura clearly knew that he was still at the edge of the Kunlun realm and did not bother to find trouble with him. But now, he was actually targeting him. This made the heaven-splitting divine axe very angry, but there was nothing he could do. It's Benshao. Damn, if Azura really came, you would have been dead long ago. He would not even have to move. With a wave of his hand, you would be completely dead. Wang Kai snorted disdainfully. Just by relying on the void space created by Shattering Feather, the scene of the outside world, and the meridians of the heaven-splitting divine axe, and with just a thought, it was completely possible to crush the meridians of the heaven-splitting divine axe from a distance. To the heaven-splitting divine axe, the meridians were its heart. Are you really not Azura's clone? The heaven-splitting divine axe asked tentatively. Nonsense, Benshao only transformed into Azura's appearance. Oh, he also obtained his ability. The difference is that the power used by me and Azura is different. His realm is higher. Wang Kai shrugged and said casually. Chapter 1100. You actually obtained the ability of Azura? Is that true? The heaven-splitting divine axe was a little confused, and even fell into shock. Azura, the leader of the 10 great evil gods. Each of his abilities could make the gods despair. Even in the battle with the gods, Azura did not use all of his moves. Do you really want to try it? Wang Kai frowned and looked at him with a teasing smile. The heaven-splitting divine axe shook violently when it heard that. Even if Wang Kai was faking it and lying, they wouldn't dare test it out rashly, let alone if he really possessed the power of an Azura. After all, Wang Kai's current appearance was that of Azura. It looked very scary. Bring Benshao to the nearest territory of the evil gods. Benshao wants to kill a lot of them, Wang Kai said calmly. As long as he killed some of the smaller evil gods and raised his current level, even if he really encountered Azura, he would not have to be afraid of him. After all of Azura's abilities had been obtained by Wang Kai. Moreover, the abilities that Wang Kai had were abilities that Azura definitely did not have. This was the key to having enough confidence and winning. Of course, the prerequisite was that he had reached the strongest heaven-splitting realm. Only when he reached that realm would he have the qualifications to compete with Azura. Otherwise, he would just be courting death. Even Wang Kai was not confident that he could revive under the attacks of Azura's skills. The abilities of the various ferocious skills were simply too bizarre. You can't be thinking of using Azura's appearance to go to the territories of other evil gods and deceive them, right? What if you're exposed? Every evil god's territory is guarded by a perfected Tao celestial evil god. Moreover, he can send news to his immediate superior at any time. One of the 10 great evil gods. Moreover, when Azura goes out, there are at least 5 great evil gods with him. You don't have any with you. The heaven-splitting divine axe said seriously. Hearing this, Wang Kai suddenly felt a headache coming on. If that was the case, it was indeed a little troublesome. Once he met a Tao Heaven Realm evil god, and he discovered his weakness, even if he did not see through his disguise, based on the fact that he did not have a demon god by his side, it should be enough to make him suspicious, right? Do you really want to kill the demonic god? Will it benefit you in any way? Heaven-splitting divine axe probe. He was clearly not strong enough, yet he still wanted to go to the evil god's territory to cause trouble. Even the heaven-splitting divine axe wouldn't believe it if he said he didn't have a purpose. Of course there are great benefits. The more he kills, the faster Benshao will break through. Do you have a way? Wang Kai narrowed his blood-red eyes and asked in surprise. Whoosh! The heaven-splitting axe suddenly took a few steps back in fright. It was stunned for a long time before it begged, "Brat, can you change back to your original appearance? This kind of appearance really makes me very uncomfortable. You think you're worthy of the heaven-splitting divine axe." Buzz. Wang Kai was speechless and snorted coldly. he immediately deactivated the power of God and changed back to his original appearance. "You're really bold. Go and fight with Azura then," the heaven-splitting divine axe said indignantly. F***CKU. He was beaten up like a basket by Ben Shao. "I don't even want to touch him now," Wang Kai shrugged and said disdainfully. "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points." "Who doesn't know how to brag?" The heaven-splitting divine axe expressed his disdain and said indifferently, "If you can use the power of Azura, then cut open the void and rescue the clans of the gods that were imprisoned by Azura. If they join forces with me, we can help you attract some demonic gods. But let me say this first. When the time comes, you can kill them yourself. If we use too much power now, we will be discovered by Azura and the other demonic gods. By then, none of us will survive." Clans of the gods? Could it be in that blood-colored void space? Hearing this, Wang Kai touched his chin and thought for a while. He couldn't help but ask in surprise, "Are those clans very powerful?" "They're all right. Just like the clans led by the 10 demonic gods now, they're just small fries under the gods. When the 10 demonic gods were conquering Kunlun's field, these clans wanted to stop Azura and the others from killing the gods. The impatient Azura slapped them into the space with a chicken wing," the heaven-splitting divine axe said. A chicken wing?" Wang Kai grinned when he heard this. If Azura heard this, it would be difficult for the heaven-splitting divine axe not to die. "You'd better be careful with what you say. Azura has a very special skill. It's the special space you mentioned. Once he slashes it open and is in it, he can see us and hear what we're saying if he wants to," Wang Kai reminded after thinking for a while. He couldn't see too far in the space because his cultivation wasn't high enough, but Azura could definitely control the entire Kunlun's field. "Impossible. You're thinking too much. He only used that move when Fushi fought with him. If it were other gods, he would never use that move. Plus, no one in Kunlun's field dares to fight with him now," the heaven-splitting divine axe said carelessly. "When he fought with Fushi, he used feather shattering the sky." Hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes narrowed slightly. Indeed, such a fierce skill was indeed suspicious of being opportunistic. Hiding in a special void space, one could see through the opponent's meridians and deliver a fatal blow in an unpredictable manner. It seems that Fushi is also very powerful. Unfortunately, he still lost in the end. Wang Kai shrugged and sighed with a regretful expression. No, Fushi lost not because he couldn't defeat Azura, but because when Fushi was escorting the other gods out of Kunlun's field, he was attacked by the 10 gods. He was distracted and was severely injured. Even so, Fushi fought with Azura for hundreds of years, the heaven-splitting divine axe said with admiration. Wang Kai grinned. He really didn't have the guts to speak ill of Fushi. After all, he was a descendant of Fushi in his previous life. It could be said that everyone on Earth in his previous life was a descendant of Fushi. How could he be rude to an ancestor? Yeah, Great God Fushi is really awesome. Great God Fushi is awesome. Cough cough. Wang Kai rubbed his nose and said awkwardly, "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Damn, you actually have the time to praise others? I couldn't tell," the heaven-splitting divine axe said in shock. However, Wang Kai wasn't in the mood to care about the heaven-splitting divine axe. What's going on? Ben Shao helped Fushi to brag. Why did Ben Shao get experience? Could it be that Fushi isn't awesome? That's impossible. Wang Kai furrowed his brows and thought in amazement. Chapter 1101. Host, you can become a Fushi. Anyone can, but you are the closest to him. As the prompt sounded, Wang Kai raised his eyebrows slightly and could not help but grin. This answer was very reasonable. Fushi was one of the ancestors of mankind. It was indeed possible for anyone to become him or even surpass him. God bless Azura. Buzz. In an instant, Wang Kai's body was covered by layers of blood. In just a few breaths, he once again transformed into the form of Azura. The heaven-splitting divine axe trembled and almost ran away on the spot. The shadow that Azura had cast upon it was simply too strong. Feather shattering the firmament. Whoosh! Crack! Immediately, as Wang Kai flapped his wings, the void was torn apart, and the blood-red space came into view. Where is the clan of the gods? Apart from being able to see the outside world, there is no place to imprison them. Wang Kai stepped in and glanced around. Seeing that there was no clue, he had to pull the reluctant heaven-splitting divine axe in. I remember that I need to let the two boys in. Only they can open the special space of imprisonment, the heaven-splitting divine axe said in a trembling voice. As soon as his voice fell, he hurriedly escaped from the blood-red space. Even though he knew very well that this was created by Wang Kai relying on the power of Azura, the shadow was too strong and he did not dare to stay any longer. The boy of life and death? Hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes narrowed slightly. With a flip of his hand, the male and female children sitting on the eye sockets of the giant bone-fierce devil ran over in the air with joyful laughter. Master, what do you want us to do? Kill? Or kill? The boy and girl looked at Wang Kai eagerly, their eyes flashing with a fierce light. Hearing what they said, Wang Kai's mouth twitched slightly. He had to admit that the things of Azura were indeed terrifying. Even the two boys were so bloodthirsty. Open the space that imprisons the clan of the gods. You know what it is. Crack. Before Wang Kai could finish speaking, the boy of life and death had already made a move. Another crack appeared in the blood-red space. Looking through the crack, one could clearly see a black mass of figures imprisoned inside. They were all dressed differently. However, they all had a golden ring of light behind their heads. Is this a godhead? Wang Kai squinted his eyes and stroked his chin in amazement. He then gripped the soul-enchanting scythe tightly and slashed at the crack. Whoosh! In an instant the crack was torn open. Damned Azura! It's demon god Azura! Fight it out with him! Kill! 1. Rumble! Rumble! F***CKU. Before Wang Kai could react, he saw streams of light attacking him ferociously. The attacks made Wang Kai feel dizzy and confused. I forgot to tell you. Change back to your original appearance before saving him. The sky-splitting divine axe was speechless. He looked at Wang Kai, who had been forced back to his original form. His clothes were torn and he was riddled with injuries. He could not help but speak awkwardly. Sky-splitting divine axe? Why are you with Azura? God, Azura is just a young man? Isn't this too scary? At the same time, the members of the gods who had escaped all pointed at the falling Wang Kai and exclaimed loudly. The sky-splitting divine axe was speechless. 7 days later, in a deep mountain at the edge of the Kunlun realm, tens of millions of god clans had set up their tents here. Moreover, they had clearly separated their clans. Almost no clan would come into contact with other clans. However, they all had one thing in common. They were all praying for the return of their gods. In a space temporarily opened up by the Fushi clan with a large stone, Wang Kai was lying on a cold stone bed. His whole body was wrapped in layers of white cloth. He looked like a mummy. Beside him, the sky-splitting divine axe had shrunk to the size of a normal axe and was floating quietly. Senior divine axe, will he be destroyed? As a crisp voice sounded, a beautiful woman in a colorful dress walked in slowly. As she spoke, her beautiful eyes were looking at Wang Kai with extraordinary splendor. After the sky-splitting divine axe's explanation, the members of the gods realized that Wang Kai was not Azura at all. He had just used Azura's power to save them. It's Xianku. Can you contact the 9th Heaven Maiden? Ask her to find the Queen Mother of the West, and ask for some elixirs of immortality or peaches of immortality. Give them to this kid and he might be fine, the sky-splitting divine axe said. Hearing this, the woman in the colorful dress, Zhong Xuanke, pursed her red lip. Her beautiful eyes were full of blame. She said, Senior, you're lying to me again. You obviously wanted to eat them secretly. However, I can't help you with this. I don't know where the ancestor is, and the Queen Mother of the West is in the distant starry sky. I heard that there, she and the Jade Emperor founded the Heavenly Court and a new Jade Pool. Forget it. Then let this kid die, the sky-splitting divine axe said regretfully. Will he really die? Zhong Xuanke asked nervously. Her beautiful eyes were dazed. It should be known that in all the god clans, Wang Kai could defeat Azura. After all, he could use Azura's power. If he really died, then wouldn't Kunlun's field? Of course he'll die. Although he'll become the savior of Kunlun's field, he has to grow up first. When you beat him up, he was only a great sage. He wasn't even a man-god, the sky-splitting divine axe said, speechless. What should we do? Xian Ku immediately panicked. How about you go talk to your clan leader, and give him one of the triple purity Xianling pills that the ninth heaven maiden left behind? The sky-splitting divine axe asked tentatively. Triple purity Xianling pill. Hearing this, Xian Ku's beautiful eyes immediately became flustered. She pursed her red lips and stood there hesitantly. She looked quite pitiful. It's not that I don't want to help, but the clan really doesn't have any more triple purity Xianling pills. Unless. Xian Ku pursed her red lips and stopped. Unless what? Say it. This kid's about to die, the sky-splitting divine axe said anxiously. Unless he marries me and becomes my god companion. If he worships the statue of the ninth heaven maiden, then the ancestor will give him one, Xian Ku said, blushing. Xian Ku said with a slightly red face. As she spoke, she didn't forget to steal a glance at Wang Kai. Not just Xian Ku, but many goddesses wanted to be friends with this man who could save Kunlun's field. Even. Chapter 1102. F***CK. If he wakes up and finds out that I sold him for a pill, he'll definitely smash me into pieces. Forget it. Forget it, the heaven-splitting godly axe muttered. His voice was filled with fear. You, Senior, you're lying to me again. He's not going to die, right? He doesn't need the Sanqing Xianling pill. It's all because you want to eat it. Xian Ku shouted angrily. Ahem, I'm just joking with you. Don't take it seriously. The heaven-splitting godly axe smiled awkwardly. F***CK your joke. Hurry up and tell her that it's all true. Let her marry Benshao. It's best if they can consummate their marriage. Otherwise, Benshao will definitely smash you into pieces. Suddenly, a threatening voice rang out, causing the heaven-splitting divine axe to tremble. That voice was clearly Wang Kai's. F***CK, he seems to be very willing? The heaven-splitting godly axe thought for a while and sighed. Xian Ku, I wasn't joking with you. He's really going to die. If you can get the Sanqing Xianling pill, you can consummate your marriage with him. Ah! Hearing that, Xian Ku, who was about to sneak up on Wang Kai, exclaimed. Her face turned red as she took a few steps back. I won't believe you. The elders in the clan all say that you're very good at lying. All you think about is how to take advantage of people, Xian Ku said, biting her lips. F***CK. Who said that? Who's slandering me behind my back? The heaven-splitting godly axe was enraged. After shouting twice symbolically, he changed his tone and asked gently, Xian Ku, let me ask you. Do you want to marry this kid? He's the only hope to save Kunlun's field. They say that Benshao is more awesome than Fuxi and more ruthless than the Jade Emperor. Anyway, no one is a match for Benshao. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Oh, that's right. She emphasized that Benshao is very gentle. He's always faithful to women. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Hearing this, the heaven-splitting divine axe almost fell to the ground. Ahem, Xian Ku, that kid is very powerful. Don't look down on him now. In the future, he will be even more powerful than your ancestor, the fairy of the ninth heaven. Even the Jade Emperor is not on the same level as him. In short, I'm sure that no god is more powerful than him. Oh, even Fuxi is afraid of him. Moreover, he is very gentle to women. Being faithful to one woman is his motto. The heaven-splitting divine axe continued to flatter him. Wang Kai, who was pretending to be unconscious, felt very happy in his heart. But I don't know if he'll like me or not. If he doesn't agree and I force him to marry me while he's unconscious, wouldn't he? At this point, Xian Ku pursed his lips in fear. Even if he was the hero who saved Kunlun's field, any goddess would want to get close to him. However, if she was rejected by him, she would lose all her face. As a goddess and a descendant of the fairy of the ninth heaven, she naturally did not want such a thing to happen. He will definitely agree. Actually, you don't know this, but after this kid came to Kunlun's field, he kept saying that he wanted to see you. He said that he dreamed of you long ago. After all, you are the goddess with the highest chance of becoming the second fairy of the ninth heaven. The heaven-splitting divine axe said. Really? He heard about me? And he dreamed of me? Indeed, Xian Ku's beautiful eyes immediately lit up. She did not even dare to peek at Wang Kai anymore. You are very good. Ben Shao has decided that when he gets the 3 Purity Profound Spirit Pill, he will reward you. Hearing this, the heaven-splitting divine axe was immediately interested. He said even more enthusiastically, Really? Why would I lie to you about this? Who doesn't know your name, Goddess Xian Ku? You should really go outside Kunlun's field and see more. You are a famous god outside. Many geniuses are chasing after you. Heavens! There is actually such a thing? Xian Ku's cheeks were already red from the praise. Her beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. However, those geniuses who have a crush on you were all defeated by this kid. He even said that you can only be his woman. If anyone dares to steal you, they will be severely punished. This kid is infatuated with you. The heaven-splitting divine axe said. Whoosh, whoosh. Hearing this, Xian Ku became even more embarrassed. In the end, she could not bear it anymore. She covered her face, turned around, and ran out. I will go back and discuss this with the clan leader. The heaven-splitting divine axe thought that he had gone too far. However, Xian Ku's voice suddenly rang out. The heaven-splitting divine axe was speechless. The goddess, the smartest one, is unable to extricate herself from the hero who can save Kunlun's field. The heaven-splitting divine axe sighed. Of course. After all, Ben Shao is the most awesome. What a joke. As long as Ben Shao is willing, he can even get the fairy of the ninth heaven. Whoosh! Wang Kai sat up abruptly. His body trembled, and the layers of white cloth were shattered into pieces. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Keep bragging. The Nine Heavens maiden didn't even care that Kunlun's field was occupied by Azura. She didn't even appear to help. If she could help, we might not lose. The heaven-splitting axe said with disdain. Ah. Was the fairy of the ninth heaven that powerful? Wang Kai frowned. He took out a white robe and put it on. Lying on the stone bed, he asked in surprise, By the way, where did Nuwa and Panga go? Is Fuxi the only one leading them? They are the same as the fairy of the ninth heaven. They didn't interfere with the fall of Kunlun's field. Only Fuxi led the gods in the war. They said that it was a catastrophe that they had to face. They wouldn't care. As for Pangu, he is the heavens and the realms. Everything is formed from his body. If he were to appear, the heavens and earth would be thrown into chaos. Even I, the axe god, wanted to hide and relax. But Fushi dragged me out. F***ck. Towards the end, the heaven-splitting divine axe was filled with resentment as it grumbled incessantly. It's a pity that I couldn't see the god that Ben Shao wanted to see. But it's fine. As long as Ben Shao wants to see them, they have to come to me obediently. Wang Kai shrugged and smiled proudly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Xian Ku, have you really thought it through? Are you really going to marry that guy? Clan leader, if he can save Kunlun's field, I'm willing to marry him. Well, as long as you've thought it through. But I have to see what kind of person he is before I decide. Let's go and bring him to our ancestor's statue. Coming. Hearing the conversation outside, Wang Kai's eyes lit up. He turned around and sat on the stone bed. Kid, you should be lying down and wrapping yourself up like a mummy, right? Why are you so serious? The heaven-splitting divine axe said, speechless. Chapter 1103. What do you understand? Just stand aside and watch. Wang Kai raised his eyebrows and looked at him with disdain. Ah, you're awake? At the same time, Xian Ku and an old man strode in, and they were stunned as they gazed at Wang Kai, who wore white clothes, had a young yet extremely handsome appearance, and sat upright there. Yes, I heard that goddess Xian Pin came here to see me, and my injuries were mysteriously healed. Even I am very puzzled about this matter. Did you secretly use some kind of healing method on me? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and looked at her in surprise. Swoosh! Not only was the heaven-splitting divine axe stunned, but even the mysterious lady tribe's matriarch looked at Xian Ku suspiciously. According to Wang Kai's injuries, he should not have recovered so quickly. I didn't. Xian Ku lowered her head shyly and pursed her lips. She secretly looked at Wang Kai. Wang Kai's words just now were obviously friendly. Thinking of what the heaven-splitting legendary axe had said, Xian Ku became even more shy. You definitely didn't. It would be strange if you did. This guy is obviously talking nonsense. He is just trying to get a girl. The heaven-splitting legendary axe snorted. He despised Wang Kai's actions. You didn't? Then why did Ben Shao recover? It should be the work of goddess Xian Pin. You are simply too charming, too cute, too beautiful. This young master has always admired you. Because I wanted to see you so much, my injuries suddenly healed. That should be it. Wang Kai squinted his eyes and said with a smile, pretending to be serious. Xian Ku became even more shy when she heard this. She did not even dare to raise her head. He had just hinted at his good intentions, but now he was directly expressing it. How could Xian Ku, who had a good impression of Wang Kai and had high expectations for him, accept this? What a smooth talker! Suddenly, the old man snorted. His eyes lit up on his wrinkled face. After looking at Wang Kai, he waved his sleeves and was about to leave. Tribe leader Xian Ku was startled. He was about to stop Wang Kai when he saw Wang Kai's figure approaching him all of a sudden. He just happened to separate her from the tribe leader of the mysterious lady tribe. Goddess Xian Ku, can you tell me about Kunlun's field? This young master has just arrived here, so there are many things that I am not familiar with. If you can clear up my doubts, it will be of great help in the battle to destroy Azura and the other demon gods. Wang Kai's lips curled up slightly as he spoke with a sincere expression. But, tribe leader, that's right. Speaking of which, I'm also very curious. Why is the patriarch of the mysterious ladies' tribe, a divine clan with such a name, an old man? Ahem, why is it a man? Wang Kai twisted his eyebrows and interrupted in surprise. Haha, Xian Ku was unable to restrain herself when she heard this. She covered her face and laughed, and then she noticed that it was slightly inappropriate. She hurriedly stopped laughing and explained in a low voice, "The patriarch is a woman." The reason she looks like a man is because of the patriarch's physique. She's a man during the day and a woman at night. What? There is such a body constitution? Wang Kai was shocked when he heard this. He had never imagined that there would be such an exotic physique in this world. What's so surprising about that? She has the yin and yang twin body. She can practice the divine techniques of the mysterious lady tribe and another divine technique. It is rare for a divine clan to practice two divine techniques at the same time, the heaven-splitting axe said. Swish! Wang Kai frowned and turned around. He looked at him with displeasure and said faintly, "Is there something you haven't dealt with yet?" What is it?" The heaven-splitting axe was stunned. "Are you really okay? Didn't you say you were going to leave for a while?" Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and teased. Young Master Wang, I have something to take care of. I will leave first." The heaven-splitting axe didn't react, but Xian Ku understood. Wang Kai wanted to send the heaven-splitting axe away. "Don't, Goddess Xian Ku. Don't you want to see Ben Shao defeat the Azura god?" Wang Kai hurriedly stepped in front of her. Hearing this, Xian Ku pursed her red lips, her beautiful eyes filled with hesitation. I have thought about it. I do have something to take care of, so I will leave first. You two have a good chat." The heaven-splitting divine axe, who had just reacted, spoke in an extremely stiff manner. Then, it turned into a ray of light and left. Come. Let's sit down and talk, please." Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and gestured with a gentle expression. No. Young master, what do you want to ask? I will just stand here." Xian Ku looked at the stone bed Wang Kai was lying on and blushed. In the entire space, there was only one stone bed for them to sit on, but they couldn't sit on it. "Aya, why are you being so polite? Ben Shao doesn't mind. Come, let's sit down and talk." Wang Kai smiled and naturally reached out to hold Xian Ku's soft hand. "Young master," Xian Ku pursed her red lips. Her cheeks felt as if they were on fire. Her heart was pounding non-stop and her mind was in a mess. Wang Kai had already brought her to the stone bed. "Don't call me young master. Call me Brother Kai." "Yes, Brother Kai is fine too." The corners of Wang Kai's mouth curled up slightly. He held Xian Ku's trembling hand and slowly sat down on the stone bed. They sat side by side and could feel each other's body heat. This situation caused Xian Ku's face and neck to turn red. She lowered her head deeply, and her delicate body seemed to stiffen. "Goddess Xian Ku, tell Ben Shao about the current situation in Kunlun's field. Are there any female demonic gods in Azura's clan?" Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and asked curiously. As he spoke, he gently patted Xian Ku's soft hand and rubbed it from time to time. Xian Ku couldn't bear such an intimate action. She pursed her lips and retracted her hand. Then, she moved her hand. "There are female demonic gods in Kunlun's field. Azura has taken over Kunlun's field. They live on Kunlun Mountain," Xian Ku whispered. There really was a female demonic god? Wang Kai was shocked. He wanted to see how evil the so-called female demonic god was. It would be best if she was more open-minded. "Oh, then what's the realm of the strongest deity in the god clan?" Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and asked softly. He lifted his butt in an extremely natural manner and sat down beside Xian Ku. Xian Ku could be said to be suffering because of this. He could only feel his face becoming increasingly hot. "Xian Ku, come out." Suddenly, an angry voice came from outside. Xian Ku's expression changed and she quickly stood up. Chapter 1104. "Oh no, it's the little fire god, Zhu Yan. Lord Wang, don't go out. I'll go see him." Xian Ku frowned. Her beautiful eyes were filled with helplessness. She hurriedly left after saying those words. What the hell? Little fire god? Zhu Yan? Is he Zhurong's descendant? Wang Kai rubbed his nose in surprise. Just as he was thinking, Wang Kai could not hold back his curiosity. He stood up and secretly followed Xian Ku. At the same time, behind a giant tree, Xian Ku's face was cold. She looked at the young man in front of her indifferently and said in a low voice, "Zhu Yan, I've told you many times that we are not suitable for each other. Is that guy suitable?" Opposite her stood a young man with fiery red hair in red armor. At this moment, he was glaring at goddess Xian Pin with a face full of anger. He can use the power of the Azura demon god. He will become the hero of Kunlun's field. All the god clans will regain their freedom because of him. Xian Ku said flatly. The current Xian Ku goddess was completely different from the shy and weak girl she had been with Wang Kai. Instead, she was cold and arrogant. She had regained the appearance of a goddess. So what? He can save Kunlun's field. I, Zhu Yan, admire him and thank him. But don't forget that your real age is more than 30,000 years old. He is only 18. He's not even a fraction of your age. You still want to be with him? Aren't you afraid that others will? Shut up. Zhu Yan, you've gone too far. Before Zhu Yan could finish speaking, Xian Ku goddess's face turned cold. Her beautiful eyes were filled with coldness as she stared at him and reprimanded him. I'm just telling the truth. Could it be that you still want to hide this matter? Who in the god clans doesn't know your real age? I'm afraid that even the fairy of the 9 heavens will not agree to this marriage, Zhu Yan said coldly. Buzz. Suddenly, a green longsword appeared in Xian Ku goddess's slender hand. It exuded waves of terrifying chaotic power. Zhu Yan's eyes darkened when he saw this. He suddenly flipped his hand and took out a fiery red flag. Don't tell me you want to fight me? You're just a ghostly celestial, while I'm already Dao celestial, Zhu Yan said with a sullen face. Unreasonable indeed. Xian Ku snorted coldly. With a flip of his hand, he thrust his sword forward. True Samadhi fire. 1. In an instant, Zhu Yan waved the fire flag. Crimson streams of fire immediately shot out from within like snakes and swallowed the green sword light that had pierced out. Kid, are you a descendant of Zhu Rong? Is this how you pick up girls? After Zhu Yan and Xian Ku exchanged blows, Wang Kai stepped forward. His expression was filled with disdain and disdain. This was the first time he saw a hothead who failed to hit on a girl and even fought with her. It would be strange if he could get a woman with his looks. As expected of someone who used fire, his temper was indeed very fiery. Young Master Wang, Xian Ku blushed when she saw Wang Kai. She quickly put away her longsword and slightly lowered her head to greet him. Ugh, Zhu Yan could not help but feel awkward when he saw this. Xian Ku wanted to fight him just a moment ago, but now she was so shy when she saw Wang Kai coming over. Did you see that? This is what it means to hit on, cough cough, love. That's violence. You can't do that. Wang Kai shrugged and smiled mischievously. He walked up to Xian Ku and held her slender hand. In response, Xian Ku pursed her red lips. She wanted to break free, but after thinking about it, she did not move. She allowed Wang Kai to hold her hand as she stood there bashfully. You too. Zhu Yan raised his red eyebrows. He was so angry that his fiery hair fluttered. The fire flag in his hand trembled violently. Go play somewhere else. If you have the time, why don't you fight with the descendants of Gong Gong? Haven't your two families always been at odds? Wang Kai shrugged and smiled indifferently. I want to challenge you. Zhu Yan's eyes darkened. He waved the fire flag and pointed at Wang Kai. Zhu Yan, don't mess around. Young Master Wang has not grown up yet. Once he grows up, even 10 or 100 of you will not be his match. Xian Ku said coldly. I don't care. Do you dare to fight with me? Zhu Yan snorted coldly. He stared at Wang Kai with eyes full of fighting spirit. Sigh, I told you. What's so good about fighting and killing all the time? Even if you become the most powerful god and can match your ancestor Zhu Rong, no beauty will like you in the end. This kid is too stupid. Let's go back and talk. Wang Kai shrugged and waved his hand disdainfully. He turned around and left with Xianku. Stop right there. Are you afraid of me, Zhu Yan? With a flicker, Zhu Yan's figure stood in front of Wang Kai and Qin Nan while his body was engulfed in flames. Zhu Yan, don't be so ungrateful. Back off at once. Otherwise, your patriarch will definitely not let you off. Xianku frowned and rebuked in a delicate voice. She knew that Wang Kai was only in the great sage realm. He had yet to acquire the god horoscope. He was no match for Zhu Yan. He would be at a disadvantage if they fought. This is none of your business. Zhu Yan harumphed coldly. His eyes were fixed on Wang Kai. The power of God, Azura. Buzz. Suddenly, Wang Kai smiled faintly, and his figure immediately turned into the appearance of Azura. The huge blood-red body, the chains, the scythe, and the giant bone demon under his feet looked extremely terrifying. Even Zhu Yan could not help but take a few steps back. He swallowed his saliva and his eyes were filled with fear. Even though he knew very well that this was just an Azura that Wang Kai had conjured up, he was still extremely wary of this posture. He was not the only one who was afraid of Azura. Any other god's clan would be afraid of it. Are you sure you want to fight? Wang Kai asked calmly. Whoosh. Hearing this, Zhu Yan hesitated. However, when he thought about Wang Kai's current cultivation level, he gritted his teeth and said with a cold smile, Why not? Even though you can use the power of Azura, your cultivation level is much lower than mine. Very well, let's fight in this space so that we won't destroy the newly built residence. Feather shatters the firmament. Crack. Soon after, the space was torn apart as the huge blood-red wings flapped. A blood-red space appeared in front of one's eyes. Young Master Wang Yu. Xianku frowned. Her beautiful eyes were filled with worry. It's fine. Just watch. Wang Kai shrugged and said with a playful smile. Chapter 1105. I'll go in then. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Zhu Yan frowned and pretended to be calm as he snorted coldly. With a tap of his foot, he took the lead and entered the blood-red space. Come in. I'll let you know the power of the Zhurong divine fire. Zhu Yan said impatiently. Go in, my ass. Go in and play with yourself. Ben Shao and Xian Ku are going to cultivate their relationship. Ha 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 ha. You. Fuck. Zhu Yan's expression changed greatly when he heard this. He immediately wanted to rush out, but he was a step too late. The crack in the blood-red space had already closed. Damn it. I, Zhu Yan, will never forgive you. Ah. Zhu Yan's face was ashen in anger. He roared and unleashed his Zhurong divine fire, but he couldn't change the final result. Even though Wang Kai's cultivation wasn't high enough and he wasn't strong, the blood-red space was real. Besides Wang Kai, only Azura could open it. Young Master Wang Yu. Ha ha. Xianku blinked her beautiful eyes and stared blankly at Wang Kai. In the end, she couldn't help but cover her face and laugh. She had thought that Wang Kai and Zhu Yan would definitely have a great battle, but who would have thought that the result would be so comical? Even Zhu Yan probably didn't think that the result would be so sullen. Goddess Xianku, you have to understand that it's not that Ben Shao doesn't want to fight with him, but that he really can't. There are no outsiders here, so Ben Shao will tell you the secret. Actually, Ben Shao's strength has already surpassed the heaven opening stage, Wang Kai said indifferently with a shrug. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Heaven opening stage. He had surpassed it. Xianku's beautiful eyes widened when she heard these words. She stared blankly at Wang Kai for a long time, unable to recover her wits. No one knew if she was stunned because she believed him, or if she was speechless because Wang Kai had exaggerated too much. This is indeed true. Ben Shao never lies. The reason why he didn't go and defeat Azura now is because Ben Shao was caught off guard and was injured internally by the clan of gods. Alas, it will take some time for him to recover. Wang Kai shook his head and sighed. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. What? Xian Ku's expression changed when he heard this. He looked at Wang Kai worriedly. He had been skeptical before, but now he was completely convinced. Previously, Wang Kai had indeed been injured by the joint attack of the clans of various gods. Furthermore, it was the combined attack of tens of millions of gods. The fact that Wang Kai could survive was proof of his strength. But he didn't know that it was all because of Azura's body. Even if he couldn't use Azura's power, his body's toughness was genuine. Wang Kai couldn't help but think that if he could reach the heaven opening stage, his body would be so strong that even the combined attack of tens of millions of gods wouldn't be able to harm a single hair on his body. Alas, talking too much makes me cry. Back then, Ben Shao was wholeheartedly focused on saving the clan of gods and didn't make any preparations. His defensive power back then could be said to be zero. Fortunately, Ben Shao's body surpassed the defensive power of a heaven-opening expert from a young age, or else. Wang Kai shrugged and sighed helplessly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. This, Xian Ke listened in confusion. He was completely fooled by Wang Kai. For a moment, he couldn't react at all. Then how can I recover? Xian Ke pursed her red lips and blinked her beautiful eyes, asking worriedly. There are two methods. The first is to meditate and recuperate. However, I don't know how long it will take. It could take a year, or 10 years, or even 100, 1,000, or even 10,000 years. As for the second method, forget it, let's not talk about it. Towards the end, Wang Kai waved his hand as if he wanted to say something. His expression could be said to be extremely sorrowful. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Tell me, what is the second method? If I can help you, I will definitely do my best to help you. Xian Ke bit her red lips and asked anxiously. Her anxious appearance made it seem as if she was the one injured. Seeing this, Wang Kai felt a little embarrassed, but since things had already reached this point, he still had to continue bluffing. He couldn't have done so much for nothing, right? Cough cough, let's not talk about it. Only a woman can help Ben Shao with this method. Furthermore, it has to be a goddess like you. If you can help, that would be perfect. It's a pity. I've let you down. As a gentleman, Ben Shao really can't ask for your help. Wang Kai shook his head with a sad expression. He walked to a giant tree and leaned against it. From the back, he looked a little lonely. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Seeing this, Xian Ke's beautiful face turned slightly red. Even if she was tricked by Wang Kai again, by now, she could tell what he was trying to say. Especially the part where he said that only a woman could help him recover, and that he was a gentleman. Asking a woman for help would go against his gentleman's principles. Then how would she help? In any case, it couldn't be anything good, right? Young Master Wang, just say it. I will help you. I will help you with anything. Xian Ke hesitated for a moment, then bit her red lips and said softly. Really? But you will be at a disadvantage. Wang Kai turned around and looked at her with eyes full of pity. Xian Ke lowered his head slightly and said firmly, It's okay. I'm partly responsible for your injury. I attacked you too. Besides, you're the savior of Kunlun's field. I'll definitely help you. Damn it. What a good girl. What a good goddess. Wang Kai kept shouting in his heart, but on the surface, he still maintained a troubled look. Actually, the only way to help Ben Shao is to consummate the marriage. Wang Kai pretended to be troubled and said. After saying this, before Xian Ke could react, Wang Kai turned around and waved his hand. Just pretend I didn't say anything. This is not good. It will affect both you and me greatly. I will. But we must get married first, and you must swear to the 9 heavenly maiden that you can only love me. If you dare to lie and break the oath, the ancestor of the 9 heavenly maiden will punish you. All of a sudden, Xian Ku gritted her teeth and lifted her head, gazing at Wang Kai seriously. Why does every woman want to love only her for the rest of their lives? Is this possible? Do they have to use a hypocritical lie as a guarantee? It seems that a goddess is no different from an ordinary woman. Hearing this, Wang Kai's mouth twitched. If it was in the past, he might have sworn, but now, he didn't have the guts. Chapter 1106. Who knew what kind of personality the 9 Heavens Maiden had? Who knew how powerful the 9 Heavens Maiden was? Once a vow was made, what kind of punishment would he receive from the 9 Heavens Maiden if he violated it in the future? Even the Yellow Emperor was the 9 Heavens Maiden's disciple. Her power could be seen at a glance. Not to mention that Wang Kai hadn't reached the heaven-splitting realm yet. Even if he did, he wouldn't have the guts or ability to challenge the 9 Heavens Maiden. The 9 Heavens Maiden's fame was truly too resounding. The heaven-splitting divine axe had said that if the 9 Heavens Maiden or Nuwa appeared, Azura might not be able to occupy the Kunlun realm. You don't agree? If it makes things difficult for you, it's fine if we don't get married. I'm willing to help you, but from now on, we won't meet again. Xian Ku bit her red lips and lowered her head, her beautiful eyes filled with disappointment. From Wang Kai's hesitation, she could guess that he definitely loved other women and wouldn't swear to only love one person. Ben Shao is really becoming more and more of a bastard. How could Ben Shao have any thoughts about such a good woman? Wang Kai's expression was somewhat dazed. He was already shocked by Xian Ku's decision. Cough, Ben Shao was actually just joking with you. If I want to recover my heaven-splitting strength, I only need a few months. There's no need to consummate my marriage, or anything. Wang Kai waved his hand and smiled rather awkwardly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. And I understand. Xian Ku's delicate body trembled slightly, her beautiful eyes filled with disappointment and desolation. She believed that Wang Kai's answer was all a lie. He just didn't want to swear. Little did she know that Wang Kai truly didn't have the strength of the heaven-splitting realm. Regarding this, Wang Kai was rather speechless. He had originally wanted to set a trap and trick this goddess into bed, but in the end, he had instead tricked himself. How the hell was he going to explain this? No matter how he explained, she probably wouldn't believe him. She would definitely think that he was simply unwilling to take the oath. When will we consummate our marriage? Xian Ku bit her red lips and asked softly. Hearing this, Wang Kai held his forehead with one hand. It was just as he had guessed. She didn't believe his explanation at all. Until now, she was still thinking about the wedding night. Moreover, she seemed to want to do it for free, just to help him. Xian Ku, look into my eyes. Patter. Suddenly, Wang Kai walked up to Xian Ku. He reached out his hands and gently grabbed her shoulders. He looked at her with clear eyes. You don't want to do it here. Let's go somewhere else, okay? Xian Ku's pretty face blushed as she pleaded in a trembling voice. Regarding this, the corner of Wang Kai's mouth fiercely twitched, and he felt extremely embarrassed in his heart. Look into my eyes and listen to me. Everything I said just now was a lie. I apologize to you. I admit that you are very beautiful. Your beauty moved me and caused me to have other thoughts. That's why I wanted to deceive you and obtain you. You've been lying to me all this time? Before Wang Kai could finish speaking, Xian Ku's beautiful eyes suddenly focused. She lifted her head and the bashfulness on her face completely disappeared. F***ck. This is how a goddess should behave. Wang Kai was instantly stunned when he saw this scene. Needless to say, Even though Xianku didn't seem to be extremely shy now, her cold and aloof bearing seemed as if she was born to be in a superior position, and it was truly shocking to the extreme. Yes, that's right. Actually, I've been lying all this time. Okay, I know. Xianku interrupted Wang Kai once again. After she finished speaking, she shook off Wang Kai's hand and turned around to leave in an indifferent manner. Wang Kai stared at her back in a daze. He suddenly felt very uncomfortable in his heart. Seeing that Xianku's figure was about to disappear, Wang Kai gritted his teeth and hurriedly followed behind her. No, I've decided to help you. Let's go to the bridal chamber. Even if it's here, I'm willing. Suddenly, Xianku turned around and looked at Wang Kai with her beautiful red eyes. What? Wang Kai was stunned when he heard this. His mind suddenly went blank, and he was even dumbfounded. I know that what you said just now was the real lie. You don't want me to lose my chastity to help you. That's why you said that you've been lying to me all this time. Just now I wanted to fulfill your kindness and gentleness, but after thinking about it, I realized that I've fallen in love with your gentleness. Xianku's tears fell as she spoke. She threw her head into Wang Kai's arms. Damn, that works too? You can do that? Wang Kai was confused for a moment. He didn't expect that by telling the truth and admitting his mistake, she would misunderstand him even more. She even thought that it was a good thing. In the end, he had become a gentle and kind person. I know that you have women you love. Because you love them, you don't want to swear that you only love me, but you also don't want me to help you for free. That's why you lied and said that everything before was a lie. Then do you know that this is what I like the most? It's more important than you being able to save the Kunlun realm. You let me see your loyalty to the woman you love, and also let me see your gentlemanly demeanor. Hearing the words in his arms, Wang Kai's face was completely stunned. His mouth was agape, his eyes were wide open, and his expression was frozen. He was completely dumbfounded by Xianku's praise. It was only now that Wang Kai realized that the real way to pick up a girl was not to bluff, but to be honest with her. Let's consummate our marriage now, but I need you to teach me. I don't know what to do. Does kissing count? Pat her. As Xianku spoke, she reached out her slender hands and cupped Wang Kai's cheek. She stood on her tiptoes and gently kissed Wang Kai's lips with her soft red lip. This kiss really caused Wang Kai to suffer internal injuries. Ahem, well, let's put this matter aside for now. At least we have to give you a status before we can do those things. Wang Kai awkwardly took 2 steps back and scratched his head. He was a little embarrassed. He had never seen such a scene of picking up a girl before. Since he couldn't explain it clearly, he might as well not explain it. As for Xianku's one-sided misunderstanding, let her misunderstand. At least she had a good thought. Will you marry me? Xianku's beautiful eyes were dazed, and she was even more touched. At first, she thought that Wang Kai didn't agree because he didn't want to marry her. Ahem, of course I will. But if you can't bear that I have other wives, I'm willing. This was the 3rd time Xianku interrupted him, and she took the initiative to hug him again. Under such circumstances, Wang Kai was completely hurt. He suddenly felt that he was going against his conscience. Chapter 1107. In the temporary clan land of the Xian Nyu clan. Under Xianku's lead, Wang Kai followed along. Throughout the entire process, the two of them held hands and even hugged each other. Xianku held Wang Kai's hand with one hand and hugged him with the other. As for Wang Kai, his wolf heart was also aroused as he hugged her soft waist with one hand. The man was handsome and the woman was beautiful. When they walked together, it could be said that they were a perfect match, attracting the attention of countless clansmen of the Xian Nyu clan. As soon as the news spread, many divine ladies and divine sons of other clans, as well as many busybodies, all ran over and stood outside the Xian Nv clan to watch. No one noticed that Zhu Yan, the descendant of fire god Zhurong, had disappeared. Even Wang Kai and Xian Ku had completely forgotten about him. Xian Ku, isn't it a little too early to meet the parents now? Wang Kai grinned and said rather awkwardly. Although he was enjoying it now, it was progressing too fast. The point was that Xian Ku was leading the whole process. If you don't want to marry me and give me a status, we can leave the clan land of the Xian and Yu clan now, find a place where there is no one and, no, I didn't mean that. I was thinking, if your parents ask about how we plan to get married, how should I answer? Wang Kai waved his hand and interrupted her helplessly. Parents? Xian Ku shook her head and smiled softly. I don't have parents. The elders in the clan said that I should be a reincarnation of my ancestor, the fairy of the ninth heaven. So, I'm going to take you to the statue of the fairy of the ninth heaven to announce our love. What? The reincarnation of the fairy of the ninth heaven? As soon as these words came out, Wang Kai's footsteps suddenly stopped, and his expression instantly changed. The fairy of the ninth heaven was definitely not someone to be trifled with. The reason why he didn't dare to lie and swear that he only loved Xian Ku was that he was afraid of the fairy of the ninth heaven. But now, Xian Ku was the reincarnation of the Empyrean fairy, the reincarnation of her doppelgangers. When the Empyrean maiden comprehended the Tao, she had many doppelgangers. Each doppelganger represented a Tao. In the mortal world, they turned into humans, plants, monsters, and so on. Different Taos for cultivators, they comprehended different lives. As for me, the elders said that I was a flower called Narcissus in my previous life. It represented beauty and purity, and was used by the goddess of the nine heavens to feel happiness. Wait, what is the last life? Let's talk about this later. Can you tell me if all the doppelgangers of the fairy of the ninth heaven have reincarnated? Wang Kai swallowed his saliva and waved his hand to interrupt. No, I'm the only one who can reincarnate and become an independent life form. This is because the mysterious maiden of the nine heavens failed when she tried to comprehend the daffodil's life. She didn't obtain happiness, pure love, friendship, and so on. Xian Ku shook his head and chuckled. Oh, so you're saying that you can't become the fairy of the nine heavens, right? You're not the fairy of the nine heavens now, right? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and asked expectantly. Why are you so afraid of the fairy of the nine heavens? She's a goddess of justice. She won't harm you. Xian Ku frowned and asked with some confusion. Regarding this, Wang Kai was extremely speechless. This was not a matter of whether he was afraid or not, but a matter of whether or not he was alive. Answer me first, then I'll tell you the reason. Wang Kai said seriously. I'm not her, and she's not me. I can't become her, and she can't control me. However, we have the same appearance and voice. Xian Ku explained in great detail. If she wasn't the fairy of the nine heavens, she couldn't become her. The fairy of the nine heavens couldn't control Xian Ku. Wang Kai heaved a sigh of relief when he heard this. As for Xian Ku having the same appearance and voice as the fairy of the nine heavens, he could only apologize to the fairy of the nine heavens. I can't mess with your real body, but I can't sleep with your reincarnated doppelganger? Let's go. We'll go to the statue of the fairy of the nine heavens and announce our great and loyal love. We'll make the fairy of the nine heavens envious. She'll bite her socks and cry in jealousy, but she can't do anything about it. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and smiled proudly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Shu, the fairy of the nine heavens will hear what you say. Don't say such things in the land of the fairy of the nine heavens. Her will is in her statue, and it can share the same memories and abilities as her real body. Xian Ku reminded him softly. Whoosh! Wang Kai's expression changed when he heard this. He swallowed his saliva and asked tentatively, Is the statue very powerful? How powerful is it? Can the Asuras defeat her? No, the power of the fairy of the nine heavens is not fighting. It can only communicate with the tribe and listen to the voices of all living things. Xian Ku said softly. Oh, Wang Kai shrugged his shoulders and looked at Xian Ku with disdain. He put his hands behind his back and said calmly, It doesn't matter. So what if she hears it? If she dares to show off in front of Ben Shao, we'll bring her statue back to the place where we consummate our marriage. Let her watch us consummate our marriage. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Boy, if you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll take away your penis. I'll make you bite your socks and cry in front of a beautiful woman, but you won't get what you want. Suddenly, just as Wang Kai was feeling proud of himself, a cold female voice rang out in his mind like thunder. Who's that? Who's trying to scare Ben Shao? You want to suck Ben Shao's penis? Wang Kai was startled and quickly turned around to look around, only to discover that what entered his eyes were numerous extremely beautiful faces. For a moment, he was instantly thrown into disarray. He then realized that this was the land of the fairy of the 9 heavens. Everyone in the tribe was female, and they were all extremely beautiful. What nonsense are you talking about? Everyone is watching. Xian Ku blushed. Even if she didn't know much about the relationship between men and women, she knew what the so-called penis meant. Ahem, someone just sent me a message. Boy, you're too presumptuous. Check your body and see if there are any changes. If you want to recover, kneel before the statue for 10,000 years. Suddenly, the cold voice rang in his mind again. Wang Kai's pupils shrank. Changes in my body? Wang Kai squinted his eyes and reached out to touch it. However, after touching it, he found that there were no changes. The thing that should be there was still there. Aya, what are you doing? Xian Ku pulled Wang Kai's arm shyly, her heart thumping. Chapter 1108. Oh my God! He's actually scratching there. Didn't he ask Goddess Xian Pin to suck on his penis just now? Is he the savior of Kunlun's field? This is unbelievable. How can there be such a shameless person in the world? Does Kunlun's field still have a future? In an instant, countless women of the Xian and Yu clan covered their mouths and exclaimed. The high-pitched screams were transmitted to the outside. Countless divine ladies and divine princes who had come to watch were all shocked. Look, it's all your fault, Xian and Yu complained. Xian Ku grumbled shyly in a low voice. His reputation had undoubtedly been ruined by Wang Kai. It's okay. Ben Shao's thing is a bit itchy. It's just scratching. There's no need to pretend to be a gentleman and not scratch. Wouldn't that be asking for trouble? What's so surprising about that? Wang Kai shrugged and said casually. Itchy. Just scratching. Oh my God! Everyone covered their faces. They were so ashamed and angry. Set an example for them. Come and scratch, Wang Kai squinted. As he spoke, he grabbed Xian and Yu's hand and put it there. Ah! Xian Ku screamed in surprise. She was so scared that she quickly retracted her hand. She blushed and ran away with blurred eyes. Seeing this, Wang Kai touched his nose and looked at the goddesses who were stunned. He spread out his hand and said matter-of-factly, This is a very normal thing. Men and women are equal. We should help each other. You can come and scratch too. He's crazy. Oh my God. Let's run. We'll be eaten by him. The savior of Kunlun's field is actually a pervert. In an instant, all the goddesses ran away in fear. Even the members of the Xian and Yu clan ran back to their homes and didn't dare to go out again. Only the deities who had come to watch were left. They stared at Wang Kai blankly. Scram! Ben Shao has no interest in being scratched by you. Wang Kai's face darkened. He waved his hand speechlessly and turned to chase after Xian Ku. Great God Wang, please wait. Please teach us the skill of tickling. Oh no, it should be teaching us how to pick up girls. We also want our loved ones to tickle us. That's right, please grant my wish, great God Wang. Swish. Swish. Thousands of divine princes came in a flash and blocked Wang Kai's path. Among them were the descendants of the water god, the thunder god, the stone god, the mountain god, and so on. Wang Kai touched his nose and looked at their eager faces. For a moment, he felt a headache coming on. Actually, picking up girls is very simple. As long as you like a girl, you don't need to talk to her, nor do you need to pursue her. Just strip her naked and force her to sleep with you. If one time doesn't work, then do it a second time. If 2 times doesn't work, then do it a third time. Until she meets you, until she thinks that her life is to sleep with you. Wang Kai shrugged and smiled indifferently. As soon as he finished speaking, he moved and chased after Xian Ku goddess. Only the divine princes were left behind. They were stunned and frowning as they pondered. Could it be that this is how he got Xian Ku goddess? Gosh, no wonder Zhu Yan, the little god of fire, didn't get what he wanted. He used the wrong method and Wang Kai got the upper hand. No, we have to do it as soon as possible. Otherwise Wang Kai will swish. As soon as they finished speaking, the divine princes disappeared from the land of the Xian and Vi tribe. Wang Kai, who had taught them the best moves, did not expect that in the near future, the entire gods' tribe would be in complete chaos. Why are you so serious? This young master is just joking with you. Moreover, we are about to get married and consummate our marriage. Those small things, if you can do them, then do them. After catching up with Xian Ku, Wang Kai looked at her with a smile. Let's not talk about this for now. Do you know how much trouble you've caused? Xian Ku pursed her red lips and said shyly. She had heard about Wang Kai teaching the divine princes. What trouble? Wang Kai frowned and asked in confusion. He thought to himself, I didn't provoke anyone. The things that you taught them, they will definitely do it. What should we do then? All the clans will be in chaos. Xian Ku looked at Wang Kai reproachfully. Will they really do it? Are the divine princes all so stupid? Wang Kai was stunned when he heard this. He touched his nose and was speechless. Even if he thought with his feet, he would think that the skills of picking up girls were purely cheating. Who would really do it? If they do it, what should we do? Xian Ku asked softly as she blinked her beautiful eyes and looked at Wang Kai. If they do it, this is a difficult question to answer. The corner of Wang Kai's mouth twitched slightly. He couldn't help but imagine the scene of the many divine sons forcefully, ahem, they can't be that stupid. You think too much. Let's go to the statue. Wang Kai waved his hand and said casually. Maybe they have already done it. Because most of them have not succeeded in wooing the divine princes. Some have been wooing them for thousands or tens of thousands of years without success. The shortest one has been wooing them for hundreds of years. Now that they have been taught by you, they may really make a big mistake. Xian Ku pursed her red lips and said worriedly. After wooing them for so long, they still haven't succeeded? Kami, wouldn't that suffocate them to death? Hearing this, Wang Kai's expression changed instantly. The shortest one had been wooing them for a few hundred years. Wouldn't that mean? No, I have to go and take a look. Wang Kai was left speechless. He was scared in his heart. If it really turned out like what he had taught them, the clans of the deities would chop him into pieces. Since you've made up your minds, go and swear an oath in front of the statue. Suddenly, as Wang Kai was about to bring Xian Ku to check on the divine princes, a voice came from behind them. Senior Patriarch, Xian Ku exclaimed. She immediately felt embarrassed when she recalled that she and Wang Kai had already pledged their lives to each other. She stood beside Wang Kai shyly. Our business is more important. Let's go and swear an oath. Wang Kai nodded and said as a matter of fact. He had completely forgotten about the divine princes who were about to make a mistake, just like how he had forgotten about little fire god Zhu Yan. Just like Wang Kai, Xian Ku, who was in a state of nervous anticipation, had completely forgotten about the things that had worried him just now. Chapter 1109. In the central area of the mysterious lady's tribe, in the middle of the temporary ring-shaped tribal land stood a statue. She held an iron scroll in one hand and a long sword in the other. She wore a green veil and stood on a gourd. A bronze mirror hung above her head, and she was surrounded by 9 colored stones. Her appearance was peerless, and she was full of heroic spirit. She was upright and plain-spoken. Is this the mysterious lady of the 9th heaven? She has a lot of magic treasures. She's pretty and has a good physique. But she's too showy. Wang Kai frowned and said speechlessly, even if she had a lot of magic treasures, she couldn't show them all off. If not for his fear of her, Wang Kai would have called her a pretentious prick. Ancestors' magic treasures are more than these. Each of them can suppress the world. Also, be careful with your words. You'll be punished. Xian Ke reminded him. In response, Wang Kai grinned but didn't say anything. In front of this person, he had no confidence at all. It was very easy to die without even knowing how. Xian knew of the 9th heaven. You have a peerless appearance and amazing deeds. You are the role model of our generation, the founder of the great world. I, Wang Kai, have never admired others. You are the first. Rejoice. Wang Kai shrugged and smiled with an indifferent expression. Congratulations to the host for bragging successfully. You've received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Buzz. Suddenly, just as Wang Kai finished speaking, the long sword in the statue's hand turned into a solid object and floated down. Bang! Buzz, the speed at which the green longsword fell suddenly increased. Before Wang Kai could even react, the long sword had already stabbed into the ground in front of him. It even cut off a few strands of his hair. Wang Kai swallowed dryly. He looked at the sword in front of him, then at the motionless statue. With a wave of his hand, a few strands of hair fell into his hand. Did she want to kill me just now? Wang Kai frowned and asked with lingering fear. Maybe it's just a coincidence? Every time a member of the clan gets married, the mysterious maiden will give us a treasure as a token of appreciation. I never thought that the mysterious maiden would give her own sword to us, Xian Ke said in surprise. Profound sword? Hearing this, Wang Kai rubbed his nose. He flipped his hand and picked up the green sword. At the bottom of the blade, the 2 words, mysterious sword, were carved. That's right. The Xian sword is one of Empyrean fairies' most precious treasures. It's also called the Sword of Justice. It specializes in killing evil. It has a natural ability to suppress evil people. Xian Ke nodded and smiled. But we haven't announced our marriage yet. Why did she just give him a treasure? She wanted to kill me just now, okay, huh? Bang. Suddenly, before Wang Kai could finish speaking, another green profound sword pierced through. This time, it directly pierced a hole in Wang Kai's clothes. Along with it, Wang Kai's figure fell diagonally to the ground. Seeing this, Xian Ke's beautiful eyes widened. She raised her slender hand and covered her mouth. She was stunned. See, I told you, she just wants to kill. Bang bang bang. Another 3 cyan-colored profound swords pierced through in succession, nailing Wang Kai's trousers to the ground respectively. The last one pierced into Wang Kai's sleeves. As a result, Wang Kai was lying on the ground, nailed to the ground by 4 swords. Including the one in Wang Kai's hand, there were exactly 5 swords. Are you done yet? Wang Kai's face was extremely dark. His eyes were filled with displeasure as he stared at the statue. His body trembled and the 4 green swords were all sent flying. Whoosh 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 whoosh. However, the moment Wang Kai stood up, dozens, hundreds, thousands, and finally tens of thousands of green profound swords pierced through him. Moreover, each of them was filled with killing intent. Wang Kai believed that they were serious this time. F***ck. Buzz. Annoyed, Wang Kai was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. He immediately moved his feet and fled in the air. However, the tens of thousands of swords behind him were like dogskin plasters. They chased after him and looked as if they would not stop until they took his life. Clan leader, what should we do? We are not married yet. Why is the mysterious lady doing this to him? Xian Ku was anxious. She looked at the clan leader, who had been silent, and asked anxiously. In response, the clan leader only glanced at Wang Kai, who was running away. Then, he kept silent and did not have any intention to answer. No, she must have a grudge against me. She must have a grudge against me. Otherwise, she can't do this. Wang Kai, who was running away, was extremely annoyed. He tried his best to think if he had met the mysterious lady of the ninth heaven before. However, he did not know her at all. Could it be that I have had a pure and beautiful love with the mysterious lady of the ninth heaven? Is it my fault that she did not obtain happiness? Just as Wang Kai was pondering, the tens of thousands of Xian swords behind him paused for a moment. They turned around in an instant and disappeared into the body of the mysterious fairy statue. Could it be true? Wang Kai was stunned when he saw this. He could not help but touch his nose and think carefully. Which beauty had he fallen in love with and caused her to lose her happiness in the end? No, it's not true. After thinking for a while, Wang Kai was speechless. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. Suddenly, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of profound swords appeared around Wang Kai in an instant, completely blocking off his escape route. Seeing this, Wang Kai's face turned pale. If all of them were to stab at him together, no matter how graceful and elegant he was, he would still die. It doesn't seem like it has much to do with Ben Shao, I guess. Wang Kai rubbed his nose in a probing manner. After he finished speaking, he saw that those Xian swords had all disappeared. That's strange. Since she did not have any love with Ben Shao, why did she have to kill Ben Shao? Was she jealous that Ben Shao was too handsome and had too many girlfriends? Wang Kai frowned and said speechlessly, "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points." Swoosh. Wang Kai, be careful, swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Just as Wang Kai finished speaking, millions of swords pierced through Wang Kai and turned him into a sieve. Wang Kai could vaguely hear Xian Ku's anxious shouts. However, he did not have the strength to reply and rolled his eyes. F***ck. What did this lad do? To think that he would have angered the Xian lady of the nine heavens. Swoosh. The heaven-splitting axe floated through the air. Looking at Wang Kai, who was lying on the ground with swords all over his body, Xian Ku was stunned for a moment. He won't die. You don't have to worry. Suddenly, a voice entered Xian Ku's ears, causing her to wake up from her stupor. Tears began to roll down her cheek. Is that you? The Xian lady of the nine heavens? Chapter 11:10. However, no matter how Xian Ku asked, he didn't get any response. Buzz. At the same time, the sword stuck in Wang Kai's body turned into streaks of green light and disappeared. However, blood continued to flow. It was clearly visible that Wang Kai's body was starting to shrivel. It was as if he would turn into a bag of bones at any moment. Host, it's been detected that your kidney is failing. Do you want to recover? Host, it's been detected that your injuries are quite serious. Do you want to recover? When the system notification sounded in Wang Kai's mind, it was already 7 days later. Hearing the two notifications, Wang Kai was so angry that his chest heaved up and down. It was fine if they wanted to kill him, but why did they have to go against his kidney? Fully recovered. Congratulations on recovering from all injuries. A total of 10,000 bragging points have been consumed. Host, Wang Kai class, Chaotic Martial Artist, Formation Breaker Cultivation Level, Great Sage, 11th Grade Martial Arts. Divine Connection, Daluo Vajrabhati, Divine Connection, Chaotic Million Formation Portrait Martial Techniques. Divine Connection, Hand of the Void, Divine Connection, Formation Breaker Technique Equipment. Divine Connection, Chaotic Sky Swallowing Halberd, The Power of God. Divine Connection Pupil Technique. Divine Connection, Eye of the Torch Dragon Bragging Points. 9,800 Experience. 70000099999 inch. I actually used 10,000 points in one go? Hearing the system notification and seeing the system notification, Wang Kai sat up abruptly. His face was terrifyingly dark. He had wanted to save the bragging points for emergencies. After all, there were many demonic gods in Kunlun's field who were eyeing him covetously. He would encounter them sooner or later. But now, he had used up 10,000 points in one go. If he wanted to reach the deity level, he would need another 300,000 experience points. No, I can't delay any longer. I have to find an demonic god's territory and kill some demonic gods to raise my cultivation level. Then, I can go back to Fan Province and bring all my women back to see the old man. Wang Kai frowned and thought to himself. You're awake? Xian Ku walked in from outside with a jade plate in his hand. On the plate was a peach. Looks like the Nine Heavens maiden doesn't agree to our marriage. Wang Kai shook his head and said helplessly. No, she didn't say that she didn't agree. The patriarch told me that the reason why she attacked you was probably because you said something that angered her. However, she didn't intend to take your life. According to the patriarch, even if she wanted to take your life, she would have to kill Azura and the other evil gods. Eat it. This is a peach of immortality. The patriarch has been saving it all this time. It will help you recover from your injuries, Xian Ku said with a gentle smile. Her face was slightly red as she sat on the edge of the bed. Unlike before, she did not shyly decline. Instead, she took the initiative to sit on the bed. Such a situation naturally attracted Wang Kai's attention. As for the peach of immortality, he couldn't be bothered to pay attention to it. With the system around, who would eat such things? Xian Ku, come and let Benchao hug you. You're sore all over and your mouth is tasteless. Wang Kai suddenly reached out and pulled Xian Ku into his arms. As he spoke, he lowered his head and kissed her soft red lip. Aya, stop fooling around. Let's go find the heaven-splitting legendary axe first. He's about to be destroyed by the God's clan. Xian Ku shyly pushed Wang Kai away, stood up and said softly. What? The heaven-splitting legendary axe is about to be destroyed? By the God's clan? Why, did he do something immoral? Wang Kai frowned and touched his lips, as if he hadn't had enough. No, it's not his fault. It's your fault. Xian Ku turned around and pursed her lip. Her beautiful eyes were full of smiles. My fault. Wang Kai frowned and was confused. He couldn't think of anything he had done that would cause the heaven-splitting legendary axe to be beaten up. Moreover, what did his actions have to do with the heaven-splitting legendary axe? Aya, it's because you taught the deities how to woo the goddesses. Now, the gods' clan is in chaos. Thousands of goddesses have been defiled by the deities and have no choice but to get married. Moreover, the chaos is still ongoing. No one can stop the deities. Xian Ku covered her face and giggled. Looking at her expression, she seemed to be taking pleasure in his misfortune. Thousands of goddesses have been defiled by the deities? F***ck. Is this for real? Were they stupid idiots? What did they teach? Did they just hit their brains? Wang Kai's mouth twitched violently. He suddenly felt his heart ache. Thinking of the goddesses' looks and postures, they were all peerless beauties. This was good. Because of his nonsense, those bastard deities had taken advantage of them. Of course it's true. Most of the deities have been locked up by the elders of their clans to prevent them from going out and harming the goddesses. However, some of the deities are very cunning. We still can't find them. Therefore, many goddesses have gone into hiding and don't dare to go out, Xianku said, blinking her eyes. There's such a thing? Wang Kai's eyes bulged when he heard that, and he really admired those divine sons from the bottom of his heart. Yes. Because you are the savior of Kunlun's field, the gods' clan won't find trouble with you for the time being. However, they are venting all their anger on the heaven-splitting legendary axe. Now, he has been beaten to the point where only his handle is left, Xianku said with a strange expression. Only his handle is left? Even the blade of the axe is gone? Wang Kai was stunned when he heard this. He couldn't help but swallow his saliva. How powerful was the gods' clan? Even the heaven-splitting legendary axe was beaten to the point where only his handle was left? Was this heaven-splitting legendary axe the same one that Panga had? Wasn't it too weak? Cough, cough. Let's not bother about him. With his ability, do you think he would take the beating for nothing? Wang Kai thought about it and felt that there was still something wrong with this matter. Perhaps the heaven-splitting divine axe wanted to do something bad again. He didn't want to be beaten either. However, it's true that he took the initiative to stand up and take the blame for you. Xianku nodded. Took the initiative to stand up? Hearing this, Wang Kai immediately narrowed his eyes. He already felt that it was very strange. With the heaven-splitting legendary axe's defensive power, it had a lot of tricks up its sleeve. How could it be willing to take the beating? Moreover, even if it was beaten, with its defensive power, it couldn't have been beaten to the point where only his handle was left. Xianku, let's get intimate first. I've been thinking about you in my dreams for the past few days. Wang Kai squinted his eyes and said with a smile. At the same time, he had already embraced Xianku. You should go and take a look first. Oh, by the way, the goddesses who were lucky enough to survive have formed the Goddess Legion. The Legion commander is the descendant of Goddess Nviwa, Feng Liyan. She's waiting for you to walk out of the mysterious lady's tribe's territory so that she can. Xianku said and bit her red lips, unable to continue. The descendant of Goddess Nviwa, Feng Liyan? What do you want to do to me? Kill him? Wang Kai frowned as he asked with a casual smile. Chapter 11:11. We'll kill you. Bring all the goddesses together. Xianku pursed her red lips and whispered shyly. What? Hearing this, Wang Kai frowned and suddenly stood up. His eyes widened as he stared at her in disbelief. He never thought that it would be such an answer. Are you sure you're not lying or saying something wrong? Wang Kai asked seriously. No. Because of you, all the goddesses can't leave their homes. They could be harmed by the deities at any time. Therefore, in order to make those deities give up, many goddesses think that it's necessary to catch the culprit and let those deities know how terrifying they are, Xianku said softly. Whoosh. After getting the confirmation, Wang Kai suddenly frowned and waved his arm. With an unyielding expression, he said coldly, My bad temper is showing. How dare they try to rape Benshao? Or should we take turns? Are you really not afraid? If you go out, you'll die, Xianku said worriedly, tugging at Wang Kai's sleeve. I'll die. Wang Kai was overjoyed when he heard this. Even if he was going to die, it would be a pleasure, right? As the saying goes, if one were to die under a peony flower, one would still be a romantic ghost. It doesn't matter. Benshao planted a bitter seed, so the bitter fruit naturally has to be eaten by Benshao himself. Benshao will take responsibility for this matter. Wang Kai shrugged, pretending to be ready to die for the greater good. You really will lose your life. Although many goddesses have formed the Goddess Legion, only 18 of them dare to step out, with Feng Liyan as their leader. The rest of the goddesses are all at the Tao Celestial Realm, and the Legion commander is at the peak of the Tao Celestial Realm. If you go, you'll definitely lose your life. They're already prepared to kill you. Xianku blinked her beautiful eyes and said worriedly. Ready to kill me? Wang Kai was stunned when he heard that. He looked at her blankly and asked tentatively, "What do you mean by traitor? What is it? What are you thinking about?" Xian Ku frowned. Her beautiful eyes were filled with rebuke. Naturally, she could tell that Wang Kai had misunderstood. Ugh! F*ck, this bastard! Wang Kai's mouth twitched fiercely. This word was really too difficult to understand. If he didn't explain it clearly, it would be easy to misunderstand. Then forget it. Let them dream. I think you're right. I can't go out. Come, let's continue chatting. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and smiled casually. He sat down on the stone bed and reached out to hold Xian Ku, who seemed to be boneless, in his arms. His palm slowly moved down from her back. Are we going to consummate our marriage now? I'm not ready. Before Xian Ku could finish speaking, she was pushed down on the stone bed by Wang Kai. Looking at Wang Kai, who was on top of her, Xian Ku pursed her red lips and turned her head slightly. Her beautiful face was so red that it looked like it was dripping blood. Relax, I'm here. You're ready at any time. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and chuckled. His breathing was slightly heavy. Wang Kai, get out. Buzz. Suddenly, just as Wang Kai was about to reach out his evil claws, a cold and angry rebuke came from outside. Along with it came waves of terrifying chaotic energy. It directly pressed Wang Kai against Xian Ku's body. He wanted to struggle, but he couldn't. Although this position was a very wonderful thing, the pressure was not wonderful at all. This is Feng Liyan. Buzz. Xian Ku cried out in surprise. She hurriedly raised her slender hand and slapped Wang Kai's back. Under a mysterious force, the two of them were separated. At the same time, the pressure on Wang Kai's body also disappeared. You're also in the Tao Celestial Realm? Wang Kai was stunned. She could easily remove the pressure just now. Her strength was definitely not weak. No, this is my innate ability. I can ignore any expert's pressure. I still can't defeat those that I can't defeat. Xian Ku pursed her red lips and said. She could ignore any expert's pressure. But if they fought, she still couldn't defeat those that she couldn't defeat. This ability is indeed powerful, but it's also not very useful. Wang Kai touched his nose and was speechless. Wang Kai, get out here. Get out here and die. We shouldn't kill him, right? Yeah, aren't we here to teach him a lesson? If we kill him, who will save Kunlun's field? Then what should we do? Don't kill him? How can we vent our anger if we don't kill him? How can we save Kunlun's field if we kill him? This, in an instant, more than a dozen clear and melodious female voices entered the room, causing Wang Kai's forehead to be filled with black lines. He really had to hand it to them. Are you here to kill me or to discuss whether to kill me or not? Wang Kai shrugged and was speechless. Everyone, shut up. Keep Wang Kai alive first. We'll kill him after he saves Kunlun's field. Now. He saved Kunlun's field. He must be very powerful. How can we vent our anger by killing him? Yeah, why don't we kill him now? He's no match for us now. This is the best time to kill him. Legion Commander, don't you think so? You guys are so annoying. I'm the Legion Commander. I call the shots. Shut up. Immediately after, a series of conversations rang out. In the end, it caused the Legion Commander, Feng Liyan, to angrily reprimand them. Are they really the descendants of Niwa? Are they really that fierce? Wang Kai touched his nose and was a little surprised. Yes, Feng Liyan lived in a place called Earth since she was young. The 17 goddesses who followed her also lived there. I heard that there are some girls in that place who like to fight and kill. I think they are called Big Sister. What? They grew up on Earth? Before Xian Ku could finish speaking, Wang Kai was stunned on the spot. Yes, that place is very mysterious. There are all kinds of people there. They are all mortals, but each one is more arrogant than the other. Xian Ku nodded and said, Whoosh. The corners of Wang Kai's mouth twitched when he heard this. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something. He turned around and rushed out. Sailor clothes. Stockings. Damn, there's a Chong Sam. This is a maid outfit. Puff in an instant, after Wang Kai rushed out and took a look, blood spurted out of his nose and he fell to the ground. Feng Lian, who was wearing a sailor suit, leather shoes and stockings, and the 17 beauties behind her, who looked to be in their 20s, all looked at Wang Kai, who was lying on the ground with blood spurting out of his mouth. Chapter 11-12. Big Sister, this pervert actually fainted. A young girl with an oval-shaped face wearing a pink princess dress, white stockings, and 2 ponytails was pointing at Wang Kai on the ground and giggling non-stop. Yes, he is indeed from Earth. He came to the myriad worlds to cultivate. Maybe he has been cooped up for too long. A woman wearing a golden qipao with a slit and her hair tied into 2 buns explained in a daze. Her beautiful eyes didn't blink, and her face seemed to be emotionless. He must have been mesmerized by my beautiful legs. That must be it. This princess is simply too beautiful. A short girl with white hair, wearing a leather jacket that exposed her navel and a leather skirt that reached her thighs, laughed arrogantly. Second sister, third sister, fourth sister, capture him and bring him to my palace. I want to interrogate him properly. The rest of the sisters, inform the goddesses to prepare to come to my palace and wait for the trial. Feng Lian, who was the leader, lowered her head and looked at her clothes. The corners of her lips curled up slightly and her beautiful eyes were filled with pride. Okay. Yes, big sister. Immediately, the beauties divided up the work. The unconscious Wang Kai was directly dragged away by the cute girl in the qipao, who grabbed one of his legs. Fifth sister, you should come with us. If I didn't come early, you are destined to be harmed by him. Feng Lian said lightly. Whoosh. Hearing this, Xianku slowly walked out from the stone house. At this moment, she had changed into a black dress and high heels. Holding a red umbrella in her hand, she moved her red lips and said softly, Big sister, I really like him. Don't mess with him anymore. Come to my palace first. When Fushi asked you to come to Earth, you killed him with a car. If he knew about this, I am not sure how he would treat you. Feng Lian smiled faintly. He won't be angry with me, right? After all, he also gained a lot of benefits. Although I don't know how many women he found, there must be a lot. Xianku covered her face and said softly. These clothes are uncomfortable. Go back and change. I still like my clothes. Feng Lian tugged at her short skirt, revealing the small red pants inside. Moreover, it was nailed. F***ck, you guys are trying to murder me. Wang Kai, who was dragged to the ground by the Chong Sam woman, had just woken up and happened to see this scene. He didn't even hear what they were saying. He rolled his eyes and fainted again. The heaven-splitting axe is right. He doesn't seem to have any resistance at all. The girl in the leather skirt blinked in surprise. What a pervert. He should have listened to me back then. Let me crash the plane and smash him to death. Feng Lian disdainfully snorted coldly. At the same time she turned around, her beautiful face was slightly red. Inside a magnificent palace that was flickering with colorful lights, Wang Kai was tied to a human frame. Looking at the 5 beauties in front of him, his expression was filled with displeasure. Why did you switch back? Wasn't it good to wear the clothes you wore just now? And you, Xianku, don't you love me anymore? The dress just now was so beautiful. Quickly change into it and show it to Ben Shao. Wang Kai squinted his eyes and said expectantly. I love you. But big sister didn't let me change. Xianku pursed her red lips and said shyly. She turned to look at Feng Lian and said softly, Big sister, put him down. It's uncomfortable to be tied up there. Ignore him. I didn't want to find trouble with him. who asked him to teach so many people and make so many God's sons do such evil things? Feng Liyan waved her hand and refused. She turned to look at Wang Kai and sneered, Wang Kai, do you know how you died back then? I died in a car accident. I was killed by my favorite little Xianku. Ben Shao heard about it. What about it? Wang Kai frowned and said indifferently. As he spoke, he didn't forget to wink at Xianku. His tone was full of ridicule. Don't you hate her? Feng Liyan was stunned. Her beautiful eyes blinked and she was surprised. Why should I hate her? In my original world, I was originally an orphan. Although I was one of the 10 most outstanding youths back then, and there were countless beauties vying to pursue me after coming here, I feel much happier, Wang Kai said casually with a smile. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Hearing this, other than the touched Xianku, Feng Liyan and the other 3 goddesses were shocked. They didn't expect him to give such an answer. I really don't understand why great god Fuxi chose you. Is it because of your bragging ability? Feng Liyan frowned and touched her chin with her slender jade-like hand as she pondered. When he was in the other world, he was pretty good at bragging. However, it seems that he is even better at bragging now. The woman who was originally wearing a cheongsam had now changed into a yellow dress. This caused her aura to change from that of a cute girl to that of a pure goddess. It had to be said that people rely on clothes. Different clothes had different strength. However, Wang Kai still preferred the original cheongsam with a slit. Looks like it was indeed Fuxi who brought me to Fan Province. However, I still don't know if the bragging system has anything to do with him. Wang Kai furrowed his brows as he thought to himself. When do you plan to destroy Azura? Feng Liyan asked in a deep voice. Swish. As soon as she said this, the other girls, including Xianku, looked at Wang Kai seriously. Didn't I already say that my strength hasn't recovered from my injuries? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and said helplessly. Big sister, he did say that. Moreover, to recover his strength, he needs to consummate his marriage with a girl. I originally wanted to help him, but I didn't have the time. Xianku pursed her red lips and said shyly. Using Papapa to recover his strength? He said that? Feng Liyan's beautiful eyes widened. Her face was suddenly filled with coldness. Damn it. As expected of a big sister who lived on Earth. It doesn't feel strange at all to talk about Papapa. Wang Kai's mouth twitched. He was speechless, but he liked it very much. Feng Liyan's appearance was simply too mesmerizing and beautiful. Even the girls present, including Xianku, were all peerless beauties. Big sister, are we going to help him too? But I heard that Papapa is very painful. I heard that Papapa is a very happy thing. The 3 girls gathered together and started chattering away. Chapter 11-13. Are you kidding? You want to help Ben Shao and have sex with Ben Shao. That's your wishful thinking. Doesn't Ben Shao have to agree to it? I'm sorry, but you don't have the right to have sex with Ben Shao. Ben Shao will only have sex with Xianku. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and said calmly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Whoosh. The moment he said that, the 3 beauties who were whispering to each other stopped talking. They turned their heads and looked coldly at Wang Kai. You're quite pretentious. Slap. As soon as she said that, one of the beauties reached out her slender hand and pinched Wang Kai's chest. What about you? Do you have the right to choose? Hiss hiss. Before Wang Kai could angrily say anything, the other beauty's hand pinched Wang Kai's bulging chest. Soon after, she pinched it and fiercely turned it in a circle. Wang Kai was in so much pain that he grimaced. His face was as black as a demon's. Is this thing of yours useful? Is it golden? You're picking it? Bang. The last beauty was even more vicious. She actually grabbed Xiao Wang Kai and pulled him with all her might. Her strength was enough to drive anyone crazy. However, something that shocked Wang Kai happened. He didn't feel anything? He didn't feel any pain at all? That's right. When I was about to have sex with Xianku, I didn't feel any swelling there. Damn, is my kidney function gone? Is my little brother crippled? What's going on? As he thought about it, Wang Kai's face turned green. The veins on his forehead bulged. He shouted angrily and broke the chains. Damned bitch, what did you do to this young master's place? Wang Kai's face darkened as he coldly stared at Feng Liyan. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Facing such a violent Wang Kai, Feng Liyan was so scared that she subconsciously retreated a few steps. The other women also stared blankly at Wang Kai. She had no idea why he had suddenly become angry. Moreover, it had nothing to do with the matter of him being captured. Young Master Wang, what's wrong? Don't be so fierce to big sister. She won't harm you. Xianku pursed her red lips and quickly went forward to pull Wang Kai back. This is none of your business. Stand aside. How could Wang Kai, who was so angry, have the time to pay attention to her? Immediately, he spoke in a deep voice and walked towards Feng Liyan. Are you going to say it or not? Just what kind of evil thing did he do to this young master's little brother? When Wang Kai stood in front of Feng Liyan, he suddenly stretched out his hand and grabbed her neck. Big sister. Seeing this, Xianku and the other women turned pale with fright. They quickly went forward to pull Wang Kai back. I don't know what you're talking about, but you better let go of me quickly. Otherwise, I will definitely kill you, Feng Liyan said coldly. Whoosh! Hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes suddenly narrowed. Suddenly, he stretched out his hand and grabbed her chest. Feeling that softness, Wang Kai did not have time to pay attention to it. Now, the most important thing was that his lower part was not working. Moreover, after he grabbed it, there was still no reaction from it. According to the past, it would definitely get up. This is the interest. Bang! Wang Kai released his hand and put down Feng Liyan, who was stunned by his grab. He turned to look at the other women and said in a deep voice, Did you all do it? What? The women were shocked when they heard this. Even Xianku was scared. Wang Kai's grab just now was too powerful. Until now, Feng Liyan was still in a daze. Are you all still playing dumb? Wang Kai squinted his eyes and smiled coldly. He immediately walked forward and stretched out his hand, ready to strike. Wang Kai, you bastard! Shameless, despicable, despicable! Get out! Bang! F***ck. In an instant, before Wang Kai could react, Feng Liyan, who came back to her senses, kicked out her leg and sent Wang Kai flying out of the palace. Bang! Outside the palace, Wang Kai fell on his face and got up from the ground with an ugly expression. He raised his hand to wipe the dust off his face and said fiercely, Repair my little brother! Congratulations to the host for successfully repairing a damaged part of his body. A total of 10,000 bragging points have been consumed. Host: Wang Kai. Occupation: Chaotic Warrior, Array Breaker. Cultivation Level: Great Sage, 11th Grade. Cultivation Skills: Divine Link, Divine Link, Divine Link, Divine Link, Chaotic Million Formation. Image Martial Skills: Divine Link, Hand of the Void, Divine Link, Array Breaker. Equipment: Divine Link, Chaotic Heaven Swallowing Halberd. The Power of God, Divine Link. Eye Technique: Divine Link, Eye of the Torch. Dragon. Bragging Points: 0 Experience: 7200009999999. After hearing the notification and seeing the system page that appeared in front of him, Wang Kai's mouth twitched violently. Suddenly, countless alpacas were galloping in his heart. The remaining 10,000 bragging points were gone again. It was now completely zero. Could it be the doing of that voice from before? Suddenly, Wang Kai's expression froze. He suddenly remembered that when he went to worship the statue of the mysterious Lady of the Nine Heavens, there was a cold female voice that threatened him. Also, she said that she wanted him to check a certain part of his body. Thinking about it now, Wang Kai's back was suddenly covered in cold sweat. His heart was hanging in the air. Repairing it once would cost him 10,000 bragging points. What was more frightening was that he didn't even notice when the other party was secretly attacking him. With my current bragging points, if I fall for it again, I'm destined to be unable to use my Shao Kaikai for a very long time. Damn it. Looks like I have to be more careful in the future. Wang Kai thought to himself, furrowing his eyebrows. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At the same time, Feng Liyan, Xian Ku, and the other 3 women appeared outside the palace. Looking at Wang Kai in front of them, except for Xian Ku, the other women's eyes were filled with coldness. What are you trying to do? My Shao Kaikai is no longer working. What else do you want? Now, don't even talk about recovering my strength to fight the Asuras. Even if you take off all your clothes and lie there for me to F***ck, I won't have the ability to F***ck you. Wang Kai, who knew that he was no match for them, hurriedly shouted in grief and indignation. At the same time, he added in his heart, that was just a moment ago. Now, his Shao Kaikai has been completely repaired. Not working. Your Shao Kaikai is broken? This. Oh my God. So pitiful. Feng Liyan was stunned on the spot. Xian Ku was also dumbfounded. The other 3 women looked at each other and looked at Wang Kai sympathetically. No wonder Wang Kai was so angry just now. He wasn't even afraid of being killed by Feng Liyan and wanted to take advantage of her. It turned out that his Shao Kaikai was no longer working. Now that he thought about it, it was understandable. As a man, who wouldn't be angry when his most important Shao Kaikai was no longer working? Chapter 11:14. Big Sister, all the goddesses are here. Humph, that D**MNB* starred is still alive? Buzz. Following a few cold laughs, thousands of figures suddenly appeared outside the originally empty palace. They were the goddesses of their respective clans. Regardless of appearance, status, or cultivation, they were all the best among the clans of the gods. However, although they were strong and had high statuses, there were some deities who were not inferior to them. It was precisely because of this that he was terrified all day long. Many of the goddesses who were not inferior to them had already been killed by the deities. Most of them had already decided on marriage. This made the deities, who had been chasing after them to no avail, extremely happy. Humph, who dares to touch our master? Are you tired of living? That's right, let's see who dares to touch master today. I, the little thunder god, will turn him into ashes. Buzz. Just as Wang Kai swallowed his saliva and was secretly thinking about how to escape, a few voices were heard. Along with them were thousands of divine princes. Furthermore, each of them was accompanied by a beautiful goddess with an astonishing aura. Although the goddesses looked unwilling, they had already lost their chastity to them. For the sake of their family's reputation and chastity, they could only choose to marry the deities. What are you trying to do? Are you rebelling? Feng Liyan came back to her senses and stared coldly at the deities as she shouted. Hee, Big Sister Feng, why are you so angry? Buzz. Among the deities, a handsome man in a green robe walked out. He carried a zither on his back. Beside him were 2 beautiful ladies, one on his left and one on his right. Human Emperor Fu. The descendant of Fuxi. The future successor of Fuxi. As soon as this person appeared, many of the goddesses exclaimed. Many of them had feelings for him, but when they saw the 2 ladies beside Human Emperor Fu, they lowered their heads sadly. Human Emperor Fu was naturally the most famous one among the clans of the gods. He was also the most powerful one. There were countless divine daughters pursuing him, but he just happened to like the 2 beside him. However, these 2 goddesses didn't like Fu Renhuang at all. No matter how hard he tried to woo them, they just ignored him. In the end, under Wang Kai's public instruction, Emperor Fu also used a vicious method in the crowd at that time to get the two goddesses he couldn't win over. A descendant of Fuxi? Seeing this, Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and couldn't help but look at the two women beside him. With one look, his eyes were filled with amazement. It had to be said that the two goddesses beside him were not any less beautiful than Feng Liyan and Xian Ku. They could be said to be on the same level. I am the descendant of the moon god Yu Qingying. I am the descendant of the sun god Yang Yanyan. Greetings, young Master Wang. Oh no, Master Wang. Under the gaze of human Emperor Fu, the two unwillingly pursed their red lips and bowed to Wang Kai. If it wasn't for the fact that what was done couldn't be undone, they would definitely join Feng Liyan's team. Moreover, they would be the strongest divine daughters to punish Wang Kai. But now it was useless to say anything. They could only listen to human Emperor Fu and help Wang Kai deal with Feng Liyan and the other goddesses. Moon God, descendant of the sun god. The corner of Wang Kai's mouth curled up slightly as he secretly gave a thumbs up to human Emperor Fu. Master, don't worry and leave. With me here, no one can hurt you. Human Emperor Fu secretly nodded in response. In the blink of an eye, he waved his arm and took down his zither. Then, he loudly ordered, "We will definitely protect Master's safety." In an instant, many divine sons and divine daughters who came forward all echoed loudly. This kind of power caused Feng Liyan and the other goddesses' expressions to turn ugly. Just the divine sons led by human Emperor Fu were enough to be on par with them. However, there was a divine daughter standing beside each of these divine sons. Together, Feng Liyan and the other goddesses could not deal with them at all. Sigh, it's too late to say anything now. I'm not good at anything now. Even if there's a beauty, I can strip her naked and let Ben Shao sleep with her. I don't have the ability to do that. Wang Kai shook his head and sighed. With his hands behind his back, he stepped into the air and left alone. What? Hearing this, human Emperor Fu and the other goddesses widened their eyes and looked at Wang Kai's back in disbelief. Sister, good job. You should punish him like this. He deserves it. In an instant, the goddesses came to their senses and laughed coquettishly. Bastard! Feng Liyan, how could you be so vicious? Human Emperor Fu was furious. Even though he came to protect Wang Kai, he did not really want to make a big fuss. He only wanted Wang Kai to be safe. But now, he heard that Wang Kai had been castrated by Feng Liyan. How could the righteous human Emperor Fu tolerate such a thing? Even the rest of the divine sons were furious. As men, how could they not understand the sorrow of being castrated? Feng Liyan's beautiful eyes went blank. Her beautiful face was filled with grievance. She really wanted to tell them that Wang Kai's problem had nothing to do with her. But at this juncture, how could she admit defeat? He deserves it. Feng Liyan snorted coldly. Then, she turned around and walked into the palace. The goddesses looked at the closed door of the palace and glared at human Emperor Fu and the other divine sons. No one noticed that Xian Ku pursed her lips and left anxiously to chase after Wang Kai. We can't let this matter rest. Follow me to get the deity striking whip. Today, I want to strike a god. Human Emperor Fu snorted angrily and waved his hand to leave. When the other divine sons saw this, they felt the same way and followed him angrily. At the same time, Wang Kai, who had arrived at the border of the deity's clan, looked around cautiously. When he saw that no one was around, he grinned and said, "Humph! You want to teach Ben Shao a lesson? I can easily stun all of you. Are you on the same level? Descendants of Niwa? You should be happy that Ben Shao doesn't send you to his bed one by one." Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience points and 200 bragging points. Heaven-splitting divine axe, come over now. Wang Kai frowned and sent a voice transmission. Buzz. Soon, a stream of light streaked across the sky, and a mighty and exquisite axe flew over. This time around, your divine axe has completely recovered. Those bunch of beasts are truly vicious. After beating your divine axe for so long, they had not expected that your divine axe would absorb all of their powers. Boy, do you believe that I am the heaven-splitting divine axe now? What do you think? Isn't my heroic figure handsome? The heaven-splitting divine axe floated in the air, emitting streams of light around it. The aura of the heaven-splitting divine axe flowed continuously as if it could tear the sky apart at any time. Chapter 11:15. Damn you, take Ben Shao to a small demonic deity's territory. Ben Shao wants to kill the demonic deity. Wang Kai frowned and said impatiently. With his current cultivation, he was nothing in the deity's clan, or even in the entire Kunlun's field. He had to be restrained everywhere. Wang Kai did not like this feeling. However, if he wanted to reach the deity's realm by bragging, he would have to brag until he died. He did not have that much time to do so. In that case, he might as well find the demonic deity's territory and kill them. Killing one demonic deity was equivalent to bragging 5 times. For Wang Kai, who was in desperate need of strength, he was naturally happy to do so. There is a disgusting demonic deity's clan nearby, the 100-clawed flying sparrow. Are you sure you want to go? Those green-feathered birds have hundreds of claws. They look so disgusting that it makes one's scalp tingle. The heaven-splitting divine axe said in disgust. The 100-clawed flying sparrow, hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes narrowed slightly. No matter how many claws it had, they were used to kill. To raise its cultivation level, let's go to the 100-clawed flying sparrow's territory. Lead the way. Wang Kai said indifferently with his hands behind his back. Ahem, I can go, but I won't help. Seeing those 100-clawed flying sparrows makes me sick. The heaven-splitting divine axe said. In response, Wang Kai looked at him with disdain and nodded. He said, I don't need your help. You just need to lead the way. What about Xianku? Let her follow? The heaven-splitting divine axe was about to move when he suddenly felt something and asked secretly through voice transmission. Xianku? Wang Kai was startled when he heard this. He thought that he was only in the Great Sage realm, so he really couldn't discover anyone's track. Helpless, he could only wave his hand and send a voice transmission. Can you get rid of her with your cultivation? Of course. I have recovered to the ghost deity's realm. She is only a demon deity. She can't catch up with me. The heaven-splitting divine axe said indifferently. Take Ben Shao and leave. Just get rid of her. Wang Kai shrugged his shoulders. He waited for the heaven-splitting divine axe to transform into a giant axe body before pushing off the ground and stepping onto it. One. Whoosh. Immediately after, the heaven-splitting divine axe rushed forward at high speed, and in the blink of an eye, it disappeared from the land of the various gods. It was so fast that no one could sense it. What do they want to do? Could it be that he's looking for Azura? Xianku walked out from behind a big tree. Looking in the direction where Wang Kai and the heaven-splitting divine axe had left, she frowned and murmured. Come, let's go after him. Wang. Suddenly, Feng Liyan appeared beside Xianku. She was wearing a sailor outfit and knee-length black stockings. Her black hair was tied into 2 ponytails. In her hand was a black longsword. Big sister, why are you wearing this? Xianku's beautiful eyes were dazed. Humph, isn't that part of his body not working? I plan to let him recover there. Perhaps the outfit he wants to see the most will help him recover. Are you going or not? Feng Liyan gritted her teeth and said. But are we just going to leave like this? Aren't we going to inform the elders? Will Wang Kai be happy if he sees us chasing after him? Xianku pursed her red lips and asked with hesitation and worry. We have to go even if we don't want to. Human sovereign Fu, that bastard, went to ask for the god's striking whip. If I don't leave now, I'm afraid I'll be humiliated by him. Feng Li Yen snorted angrily. If you don't want to go, I'll go. You wait here. I'll bring him back in one piece. Seeing that Xian Ku was still hesitating, Feng Li Yen didn't try to persuade her anymore. She immediately moved to leave. Wait, I'll go. But I want to change my clothes. I'm wearing a ceremonial dress. If he sees it and you wear it, perhaps he can recover. Xian Ku bit her red lips and said shyly. Feng Li Yan's forehead was filled with black lines. She snorted and said, That bastard got lucky. Hurry up and change. I'll wait for you here. Boy, wouldn't it be better if you brought Xian Ku along? No matter what, she's still in the demon immortal realm. She can be of great help. In the sky, the heaven-splitting divine axe was flying rapidly as he mocked. Who knows how strong the evil god is? What if he's stronger than the demon immortal realm? I'm not afraid of you laughing at me. I'm still in the great sage realm. Not to mention demon immortals, I can't even defeat human immortals. Wang Kai said with a dark face. Damn, you actually have a time when you admit that you're inferior? It's rare. The heaven-splitting divine axe was stunned. He was really shocked. Wang Kai frowned and said with disdain, I can't defeat human immortals because I don't want to fight them. For someone as awesome as Ben Shao, he only fights the strong. For example, Dao heavenly realm evil gods, heaven-splitting realm evil gods, and so on. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points. Then you'll have a lot to fight. In the 100-clawed Flying Sparrow clan, there are dozens of Dao heavenly realm evil gods, 2 heaven-splitting realm evil gods, and hundreds of others. As soon as the heaven-splitting divine axe said that, it floated down to a mountain range that stretched endlessly. Looking at the ruined forest and the corpses everywhere, Wang Kai couldn't help but touch his chin. He smiled and said, I didn't expect the demon immortals of Kunlun's field to be so big. They must be stronger than the giant. These aren't ordinary demon immortals. When they were alive, they were all demon immortals. In Kunlun's field, demon immortals cultivate faster than gods. They're born as demon immortals. Most gods are transformed from demon immortals. The previous master of Kunlun's field was also a demon immortal, the heaven-splitting divine axe said calmly. In response, Wang Kai grinned. He was not familiar with the matters of the Kunlun realm. Kid, you can go by yourself. There's a cliff 30 miles ahead. There are many caves there. That's where the 100-clawed flying sparrows live. I won't go. I can't stand looking at those hundreds of claws, the heaven-splitting divine axe said with lingering fear. You're not going? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and looked at it with amusement. He secretly communicated with the system and asked, Can I control the heaven-splitting divine axe? Host, with your current cultivation, if you want to control the heaven-splitting divine axe, you'll need to spend 10,000 bragging points. 10,000 bragging points. Hearing this, Wang Kai's face darkened. His heart ached for the bragging points he'd wasted. At the same time, he hated the 9 Heavens Maiden even more. If he had the chance to return to Earth in the future, he would definitely find her and have a good chat with her. Wait, I'll go with you. With your strength, it'll be difficult to survive in the territory of the 100-clawed flying sparrows. With me around, it'll be easier for you. Provided we don't run into any demon immortals in the heaven-splitting realm. Chapter 11:16. Feng Li Yen? You're dressed like. Cough cough F***ck. Xian Ku is here too? What's the meaning of your attire? Wang Kai turned around abruptly and saw 2 modern beauties. Feng Li Yen was wearing a sailor suit and black stockings that reached her knees. Her flesh was faintly visible and her belly button and slender waist were exposed. Beside her, Xian Ku was wearing a black dress and holding a red umbrella in her hand. She was wearing high heels and no stockings this time. Instead, her fair calves were exposed. Wang Kai's heart thumped as he watched, and he swallowed his saliva. He had the urge to press all of them to the ground and ruthlessly ravage them. Is that thing of yours working? Is it as stimulating as Sister Yen said? Xian Ku blinked her beautiful eyes and looked at Xiao Kaikai's body. At the same time, Feng Li Yen also looked at Xiao Kaikai. In response, Wang Kai quickly turned around and did his best to suppress the awkwardness in his heart as well as Xiao Kaikai, who had raised his head. He pretended to be lonely and said, "Don't hurt me again. I really can't take it, Sister Yen, that part of his body still hasn't recovered." Xian Ku pursed her red lips and her beautiful eyes were filled with worry. Feng Li Yan's beautiful eyes blinked as she stared at Wang Kai's back with a suspicious expression. "Wait here with the heaven-splitting axe. Ben Shao is going to the 100-clawed sky sparrow tribe to kill. Don't disturb Ben Shao. Although you are in the Tao celestial realm and Demon's celestial realm, you are too weak in front of Ben Shao." Wang Kai waved his hand and said casually, "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points." Whoosh! Xian Ku was not displeased when she heard that. However, how could Feng Li Yen tolerate that? She sneered disdainfully and said, "Wang Kai, stop bragging. With your mediocre skills, I'm afraid you can't even enter the 100-clawed sky sparrow tribe's territory. How dare you look down on look down on Ben Shao." Wang Kai frowned. Just as he turned around, he was irritated by their attire. He raised his head and awkwardly turned his back on them. The truth was that the black stockings, the little black dress, and those shining white calves were too unbearable. "It's not that we look down on you, but you don't have the ability to make us look up to you." Feng Li Yan's beautiful eyes narrowed and she looked even more suspicious. She increasingly felt that Wang Kai had been lying all along. Actually, there was nothing wrong with him there. But in this kind of situation, under the premise that he could not be sure, he could not go and check it himself, right? What if it didn't work? Wasn't this inspection poking at his sore spot? Feng Li Yan had no choice but to secretly continue to observe and monitor him. "I'm not afraid to tell you that as long as Ben Shao wants to, he can destroy Azura and the other evil gods at any time. Moreover, all I have to do is pick my nose and flick it, and they'll all go back home." Wang Kai shrugged and said with a rather proud expression, "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points." "Haha, who doesn't know how to brag? This old lady once rode on Azura," Feng Li Yen said with a rather disdainful smile. Whoosh! As soon as these words came out, Wang Kai's expression suddenly froze. He suddenly turned around and grabbed her shoulder. As he secretly glanced at her chest, he pretended to be serious and asked, "Is this true or false? Do you like to be on top of a woman?" "Get lost." Feng Li Yan's forehead was filled with black lines. She raised her jade-like hand and pushed Wang Kai to the side. She turned around and her face was a little red. She didn't expect that Wang Kai would actually believe her. "Well, just wait here. When Ben Shao comes back, he will definitely open your eyes. At that time, this Kunlun's field will belong to Ben Shao. It will be a place for future dates." Wang Kai shrugged and smiled casually. "Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 20,000 experience and 200 bragging points." Buzz! As his voice faded, Wang Kai moved his feet. With a few leaps, he disappeared into the mountain forest. "You wait, don't follow him. Since he insists on going alone, he must have his own ideas. If he is really in danger, it won't be too late for us to go." The heaven-splitting axe said lightly and stopped Feng Li Yan and Xian Ku, who wanted to follow. Host: Wang Kai. Profession: Chaotic Warrior, Array-Breaking Master Realm. Great Sage, 11th Grade Cultivation Method: Divine Connection, Daluo Vajrabadi, Divine Connection, Chaotic Million Formation Image Martial Technique. Divine Connection, Hand of the Void, Divine Connection, Array Breaking Technique Equipment. Divine Connection, Chaotic Sky Swallowing Halberd, The Power of God. Divine Connection Eye Technique. Divine Connection, Eye of the Torch Dragon Bragging Points. 800 Experience. 8000009999999 Wang Kai, who was running, secretly activated his mind and opened the system information. After a glance, he found that he still needed to brag 10 times more before he could break through to the next realm. I wonder if the bragging rewards will increase after I reach the deity realm. If it does, Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and grinned. Then he activated his mind and closed the system page. At the foot of a mountain, there were many caves on the cliffs and precipitous cliff. The caves were very wide, and they were hundreds of feet wide. A lofty mountain was right in front of his eyes, causing him to feel a sense of dread. Every hole is dozens of feet wide. How big is this damn 100-clawed flying sparrow's stomachs? It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that they cover the sky, right? The corner of Wang Kai's mouth twitched. He frowned and thought for a while. Then he secretly communicated with the system and said, "Can those 100-clawed flying sparrows see through me if I use the shape-shifting technique to turn into a rock?" Host, the shape-shifting technique is a martial technique within the system. No expert can see through it. Hearing the notification, Wang Kai's mouth curled up. He thought to himself, "It's been a long time since I used the shape-shifting technique, right?" Buzz. Soon after, Wang Kai's body transformed into a stone the size of a baby's fist. He bounced up the cliff with a da-da-da sound. Where did that Corel guy go? Why hasn't he come back yet? Get out here, all of you! Crack! As a furious voice rang out, space tore open. A middle-aged man in a red magic robe walked out. He held a staff with a fiery red gem in his hand. There was a red magic formation under his feet that supported his body and made him hover in the air. Hiss hiss! Hiss hiss! At the same time, a roar was emitted from the countless number of holes in response. Soon after, one could see the heads of many green-haired creatures poking their heads out from within. Wang Kai, who was pretending to be a rock on the ground, was quite frightened when he saw the heads of the 100-clawed flying sparrows. They were the same as normal peacock heads, except they were extremely large, like huge mountains. Just their heads were comparable to mountains, so just how large would their entire bodies be? Chapter 11:17. Buzz. So what if Benshao comes out? Killing you is as easy as chopping vegetables. Even if you are an Azura in front of this young master, you are no different from trash. Wang Kai slowly revealed his true body, hands clasped behind his back, and looked at her with a smile. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the advanced level of the deity realm. Human? You're a human god? The middle-aged woman's eyes narrowed. She stared at Wang Kai warily with a cold glint in her eyes. No, I'm the ruler of the human gods. Anyway, Benshao is more powerful than you can imagine. Wang Kai squinted his eyes and smiled faintly. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the beginner level of the deity realm. Arrogant and ignorant human god. Buzz. Suddenly, the middle-aged woman snorted. She flipped her palm and slapped across the air. She shouted, "Water dragon bullet!" Swoosh. Roar. Under Wang Kai's astonished gaze, he clearly saw a ball of water float out and condense into a water dragon. The dragon opened its mouth angrily and bit towards Wang Kai. How dare you use magic in front of Benshao? Do you know that Ben Shao is the ancestor of magic? Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the advanced level of the deity realm. Buzz, bang, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. After breaking through to the next level, Wang Kai flipped his hand and slapped. However, due to the difference in level, he was still pushed back by the water dragon and slammed into the wall. The ancestor of magic? Humph, how can a god from the world of cultivation know the power of magic? Even the immortal emperor of cultivation has been defeated by us. The highest point of the land of cultivation, Kunlun's field, is also the territory of our demonic beast army. When the middle-aged woman saw that she had beaten Wang Kai to the point where he was unable to fight back, she immediately sneered with satisfaction. The immortal emperor of the immortal world? A deity of the world of god cultivation? Kunlun's field? A magical beast? Wang Kai frowned when he heard that. He didn't expect the world to be divided into 3 categories: spirit cultivation, immortal cultivation, and magic. I'm not afraid to tell you that immortal cultivators, divine cultivators, magic, and so on were all created by Ben Shao with a wave of his hand. The magic you're using now is merely something that Ben Shao felt when he peed back then. Wang Kai smiled faintly with his hands behind his back. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have gained 20,000 experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the beginner level of the Spectre God realm. Humans really know how to boast. Die. Wind dragon, wind my ass, wind. Bang. Crack. Before the middle-aged woman could finish her attack, Wang Kai suddenly approached her and slapped her on the head. Her head immediately exploded, and she died on the spot. Wang Kai clapped his hands and glanced at the broken body on the ground with disdain. He didn't pay attention to her just now because his level was not high enough. Now that he had reached the beginner level of the Spectre God realm, which was beyond the Demon God realm, why would he waste his breath on her? Sigh, Ben Shao is really too strong. He will unify the immortal cultivation world, dominate the immortal cultivation world, and wreak havoc in the magic world. It's just a matter of time. Wang Kai shook his head and sighed. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have gained 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the advanced level of the Spectre God realm. Hee. It seems like the 100-clawed flying sparrow's territory is destined to be destroyed by Ben Shao. It can't be helped. Ben Shao is simply too awesome. He just broke through 2 levels and asked who else? Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have gained 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the beginner level of the Dao Heaven Realm. The Dao Heaven Realm. Hearing the notification, Wang Kai's eyes narrowed. He was 1 level away from the Open Sky Realm. At that time, he wouldn't have to be afraid of Azura. Whoosh. Wang Kai's expression was extremely calm. He slowly floated out and floated in the air. He looked at the caves and said softly, "Green-feathered sparrows, stop sleeping. Come out and watch Ben Shao beat you to death." Buzz. Rumble. Rumble. In an instant, before the 100-clawed flying sparrows could react, Wang Kai waved his hand repeatedly and the entire mountain was turned into ruins. Bastard! Who is it? How dare you come and cause trouble? Buzz. Suddenly, the strongest heaven-opening realm expert, Ku Chi, led dozens of middle-aged men covered in dust and flew out of the ruins. 1 Open Sky Realm and 43 Dao Heaven Realm. Are the rest dead? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and glanced at the ruins below. Seeing that there was no aura to speak of, he slowly let out a sigh of relief. Your grandpa came to cause trouble. Oh, Ben Shao already killed Azura, Wang Kai said indifferently with his hands behind his back. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have gained 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the advanced level of the Tao Heaven Realm. What? Hearing that, Ku Chi and the others' expressions all changed. They all stared coldly at Wang Kai, and in the end, their faces became terrifyingly dark. I didn't expect there to be a living human god in Kunlun's field. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Why wouldn't I dare? Ben Shao even killed a few in front of you. Buzz, puff, puff, puff. While Ku Chi was stunned, Wang Kai stepped forward and directly came before the three weakest middle-aged men. With a slap, their bodies exploded in the air. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing 3 advanced Tao Heaven Realm demonic god. You have gained 3 million experience. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through to the intermediate level of the Open Sky Realm. Let's destroy these dozens of them as well. Buzz. Rumble. Hearing this, the corners of Wang Kai's mouth curled up slightly, and he casually slapped out again. Only a series of buzzing sounds could be heard. Except for Kutcher, the rest of the 100-clawed flying sparrows that had transformed into humans exploded in the air. You are at the intermediate level of the Open Sky Realm? That's impossible. There are no gods in Kunlun's field now, and it's impossible for an Open Sky Realm god to appear. You are. Before Ku Chi could finish his exclamation, Wang Kai grabbed his neck, and with a slight force, his face turned extremely pale. Ben Shao won't get any benefits from killing you, so Ben Shao has decided not to kill you for now. But there are some questions I need to ask you. Do you want to live? Wang Kai squinted at him and asked with a faint smile. Cough, cough. Ku Chi couldn't make a sound at all with his neck being grabbed. Hearing that, he could only nod with a red face. First of all, thank you all for your support and love. Second, should I go to Earth first, the world of magic, or the world of cultivators first? All 3 territories will appear one after another. Chapter 11-18. Tell me, where did you come from? Why did you come to Kunlun's realm? What is the realm of your leader, Azura? Bang! Wang Kai flipped his hand and threw Ku Chi into the ruins. Then he slowly floated down and sat cross-legged in front of Ku Chi and asked in a low voice. We came from the Roha continent and came to Kunlun's realm to rule. We broke the barrier of the immortal realm and came here. Azura's realm. He is a triple divine cultivator. Kuch knelt on the ground and answered respectfully. Triple divine cultivator? Wang Kai frowned when he heard this. He looked at Kuch with a puzzled expression and asked, What is the triple divine cultivator? Has the immortal realm been conquered by you? Replying to the human god, the triple divine realm represents the Roha continent's magic and night cultivation, as well as the cultivation of the gods and the cultivation of the immortal world. When all 3 are gathered together, the highest point is the triple divine realm. As for the world of immortal cultivators, we've already successfully conquered it. I heard that most of the cultivators fled to a place called Earth, where there are still people with special abilities. Azura is planning to refine the Kunlun Mountains and then go to Earth to successfully grasp the method of cultivating special abilities and become the god of true virtue. As Kuch spoke, Wang Kai was dumbfounded. The immortal realm, and the magic realm, the 3 divine cultivators gathered together and reached the peak of the triple divine cultivator. Moreover, there were still superpowered people on Earth? Why didn't I know about this? Wang Kai frowned as he was surprised. At the same time, he couldn't help but laugh at himself. If he didn't get into a car accident and come to the immortal realm, he wouldn't have known that there were espers on Earth. In the end, he wasn't qualified to come in contact with the espers. But now, it was different. The god of 4th divine cultivator? Hee, it seems that Ben Shao needs to break into a stronger realm, even though Ben Shao is already the strongest. Wang Kai shrugged and smiled casually. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You have received 2 million experience and 20,000 bragging points. Congratulations to the host for successfully breaking through and reaching the peak of heaven opening. Host, Wang Kai class, God realm. Split the heavens, perfection, divine arts, none divine skill, none divine weapons, none the power of God, full spirit divine eye, torch dragon's eye bragging points, 160800 experience, 00 host. You have now reached the highest realm in the cultivation God world. If you want to continue increasing your strength, you can only choose to enter other planes. Host, with your current ability, you can only choose the following 3 planes to enter. First, the strongest continent in the magic world, Roha continent. Second, the strongest place for espers, Earth. Third, the strongest place for immortal cultivators, Immortal world. Host, the chaos is divided into 7 universes. You are now in the 5th universe ruled by the cultivation God world, the 6th universe is the immortal world, and the 7th universe is the magic world. Hearing the series of system prompts and the system page that appeared, Wang Kai frowned. My experience points have become 0? If I want to continue breaking through, I can only go to other universes? Otherwise, even if I bragged, I wouldn't get a reward? And that Earth, which universe is it in? Wang Kai frowned and asked repeatedly. Host, bragging can be rewarded with bragging points, but before you go to other universes, you can't increase your realm. Host, the 4th universe where Earth is located is called the Espers world. The Espers on Earth are the strongest. Hearing this, Wang Kai suddenly understood. He rubbed his chin and said with a playful smile, I didn't expect the cultivation God world to be ranked behind the Espers world. Host, the 7 universes are ranked. After the 3rd universe, it isn't ranked by strength. Only the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd universes are ranked by strength. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd universes are the strongest? As for the ones after them, they're about the same? Wang Kai frowned and asked in surprise. Host, that's exactly the case. After receiving confirmation, Wang Kai's mouth twitched and he couldn't help but ask again. Then what do the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd universes cultivate? Host, due to the limited scope of your knowledge, the system is unable to answer this question. Then you should at least tell me how much stronger the triple cultivation God is than the heaven opening realm, right? Wang Kai said with a dark expression. Host, the triple cultivation God is 2 realms stronger than the heaven opening realm. The heaven opening realm is actually the 1st cultivation God realm. Above it is the 2nd cultivation God realm, and after that is the 3rd cultivation God realm. Hearing this, Wang Kai's mouth twitched and he snorted. If I don't go to other universes, I won't be able to break through and reach the 3rd cultivation God realm. I won't be able to defeat Azura. If that's the case, won't I be dead for sure? Can't you be a little more reasonable? Host, you can directly choose to go to the Espers world of the 4th universe, the cultivation God world of the 6th universe, and the magic God world of the 7th universe. Host, you can also choose to go to the magic God world first. Azura's lifeline is there. With the 3rd cultivation God realm, you can sever his lifeline, causing his strength to drop and become the 3rd cultivation God realm. That way, you can rush back to the cultivation God world and fight him at the same level. Of course, the premise is that you have to reach the divine realm in the magic God world. Only then can you be considered the 3rd cultivation God realm. Lifeline? Sever his lifeline? Furthermore, if he reached the divine realm in the magic God world and advanced to the 3rd cultivation God realm, then returned to the cultivation God world, Azura's strength would drop to the 3rd cultivation God realm because his lifeline was severed. This also proved that if they were at the same level, the outcome of the battle would still be uncertain. It also saved him the danger of going to other universes and causing the Kunlun mountain of the cultivation god world to be refined. Wang Kai grinned. Although he wanted to go to other universes to have a look, show off, pick up girls, and so on, saving the Kunlun realm was more important. Therefore, he could only choose to go to the magic god world first, destroy Azura's lifeline, and then come back to destroy his original body. Thinking of this, Wang Kai turned and looked at Kutcher, who was kneeling in front of him, and said lightly, "Can you still return to the magic god world?" "Yes, but only Azura and my clan's leader, the evil god master, can open it. The other evil god masters were all subdued by Azura in the cultivation god world and the cultivation god world. In the magic god world, only the 100-clawed flying sparrow clan was Azura's first subordinate. But, if my clan's leader knows that you've been destroyed, he definitely won't help you open the gate to the magic god world," Kutcher said. Chapter 11-19. In the Mountain Forest. Feng Li Yen and Xian Ku were waiting anxiously, looking at the 100-clawed flying sparrow clan's territory from time to time. When they heard the explosion, they couldn't help but want to go and take a look. Unfortunately, they were all stopped by the heaven-splitting divine act. "Are you sure Wang Kai will be fine? Just now, even the aura of the heaven-splitting realm." "Don't worry, that boy is very awesome now." Before Feng Li Yen could finish speaking, the heaven-splitting divine axe interrupted her. "How do you know?" Xian Ku blinked her beautiful eyes and asked curiously. In response, Feng Li Yen also looked at him. From beginning to end, she hadn't sensed Wang Kai's aura, only the 100-clawed flying sparrow clan's heaven-splitting realm expert. "Carefully sense the aura of the 100-clawed flying sparrow clan's heaven-splitting realm expert," the heaven-splitting divine axe said indifferently. Hearing this, Feng Li Yen frowned and looked at the heaven-splitting divine axe suspiciously. "Sister Yen, quickly sense it." "I'm not strong enough." Xian Ku pursed her red lips and said anxiously. "One." Feng Li Yen nodded silently, then closed her beautiful eyes and carefully sensed in the direction of the 100-clawed flying sparrow clan's territory. Shwa! Suddenly, in less than 10 breaths, Feng Li Yen opened her eyes and said in shock, "There's no heaven-splitting realm aura left. There's only one left, but his aura is very weak. Hee. This heaven-splitting divine axe didn't lie to you, right? The 100-clawed flying sparrow clan only has 2 heaven-splitting realm experts. Of course, their leader isn't included. Now that there's only one with a weak aura left, what are you worried about?" The heaven-splitting divine axe smiled faintly. "Young Master Wang's strength has recovered?" Xian Ku blinked her beautiful eyes and asked in surprise. "Don't listen to his nonsense. If Wang Kai's cultivation can defeat heaven-splitting realm experts, why can't I sense it?" Feng Li Yen frowned and said coldly. This, Xian Ku pursed her red lips and looked at the heaven-splitting divine axe in confusion. "That's because you're very weak. You haven't reached the heaven-opening realm, so you naturally can't sense the aura of a heaven-opening realm expert. Of course, I'm talking about the peak of the heaven-opening realm," the heaven-opening divine axe said proudly. Whoosh! Hearing this, Feng Li Yen was filled with disdain. She sneered disdainfully. "It's true that you were at the heaven-opening realm in the past, but the current you isn't even a Tao celestial. This divine axe isn't now, but it was originally enough. The heaven-splitting realm naturally has its own uniqueness. Once you reach the heaven-splitting realm, you will naturally comprehend it," interrupted the heaven-splitting divine axe indifferently. "Then, according to what you're saying, Wang Kai is already at the peak of the heaven-opening stage?" Feng Li Yen coldly snorted in disdain. No matter what the heaven-splitting divine axe said, she didn't believe that Wang Kai could break through so quickly. When he left, he was not even a deity yet. How long had it been since then? And it became the highest level in Kunlun's field, the completion of the heaven-opening realm? Not to mention that Wang Kai couldn't do it, even Fushi couldn't do it. That's right. With your strength, you can only sense the aura of ordinary heaven-opening experts, but you definitely don't have the ability to sense those at the peak of the heaven-opening realm. However, this divine axe can sense it very clearly. Although that brat is a bit strange, having an aura for one moment and then not, said the heaven-splitting divine axe proudly. Strange. Having an aura for one moment and then not? Haha, as expected, your brain has been beaten to a pulp by the clans of gods, said Feng Liyan disdainfully. Little girl, according to seniority, you're still this divine axe's junior. Can you be a bit more respectful? If it weren't for this divine axe splitting heaven and earth, would there be a place for you to exist? The heaven-splitting divine axe coldly snorted in annoyance. Sorry, I, Feng Liyan, only believe in strength. I don't believe in seniority. Also, even if you split heaven and earth, it was Pangu who used you to do it. Furthermore, if it weren't for the humans created by my ancestors, what's the point of you splitting heaven and earth? Leaving you to wander around by yourself? Said Feng Liyan disdainfully. You're simply infuriating this divine axe. The heaven-splitting divine axe was directly insulted to the point that he didn't have any temper. His axe body trembled as if he had a cramp. Aya, Sister Yen, don't make Senior Divine Axe angry anymore. He's already miserable enough. He's already been beaten by the various clans for a few days, said Xianku pitifully. You. Cough cough. However, such words only made the heaven-splitting divine axe even angrier. What did he mean by miserable enough? He's right. Ben Shao has indeed reached the peak of the heaven-opening realm. As for his aura being intermittent, it's only revealed when Ben Shao attacked. If he didn't attack, it naturally wouldn't be there. No matter who came, they wouldn't be able to detect it. Wang. As a soft chuckle sounded, Wang Kai's figure suddenly appeared. He was standing behind Xianku. Aya, Lord Wang. Oh, you. What are you doing? Before Xianku could turn around in surprise, her delicate body was pulled into Wang Kai's embrace. Little Kai lifted his head vigorously and nudged her perky body below her back. Nothing. Hee, did you miss Ben Shao? Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and asked with a playful smile. Is that thing of yours working? Xianku's pretty face flushed red. Sensing the hardness, she immediately became even more embarrassed. I don't believe you've reached the peak of the heaven-opening realm. Take my sword. Wang. Suddenly, Feng Liyan swung her sword, directly passing by Xianku's ear and pointing it at Wang Kai. You bitch! Can't you use your sword safely? Clang! Wang Kai reprimanded with a darkened face and pulled Xianku to the side. He raised his hand and used 2 fingers to clamp the blade of the sword. You're really a liar. That thing of yours. It's clearly not broken. At the same time, Feng Liyan's breathing stopped. Her beautiful eyes naturally saw little Kai. The tent was undoubtedly the best answer. Cough, cough, who said that Ben Shao's thing is broken? What kind of joke is this? Can it always be good? If you don't believe me, you can try it with Ben Shao. I guarantee that you'll have no road to heaven and no door to hell. You'll want to die and you'll be in ecstasy. Wang Kai frowned and smiled rather indifferently. Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. You've received 20,000 bragging points. You bastard! I'll chop you into pieces. Xiao. In an instant, Feng Liyan flew into a rage out of humiliation. With a reddened face, her slender jade-like hands continuously danced, causing the black longsword to unceasingly descend towards Wang Kai like raindrops. Clang, 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 clang. However, Wang Kai did not dodge or evade. He only used 1 finger to move back and forth, easily receiving each of her attacks. Little girl, you'd better behave. Otherwise, Ben Shao will directly knock you out, find a place where there's no one, strip you naked, and take good care of you. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and smiled mockingly. Chapter 11:20. 100-clawed Flying Sparrow Clan's Territory. Knight Corel was riding a golden-furred lion, quietly waiting at the edge of the ruins. In the air, a green-robed middle-aged man with green hair and green eyes was standing. Corel respectfully said, "Honorable Leader Mike, that human god just now is very powerful. I'm not his opponent at all. Please be careful in a moment." The 100-clawed Flying Sparrow god, Leader Mike, indifferently swept a glance at him and disdainfully said, "In the cultivation world, there are no gods more powerful than me and Lord Azura. You can't defeat him because you are too weak." "I think so, Honorable Leader Mike." Corel slightly bowed. As he lowered his head, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. "You speak as if you're very awesome." Suddenly, a chuckle resounded, resonating with Carol's heart. It even made him suspect if he had said what was in his heart. "You're the human god who annihilated my entire clan? How dare you?" Mike abruptly turned around and furiously shouted. Buzz. Wang Kai's figure gradually appeared. Looking at Mike, he couldn't help but stroke his chin and said with a playful smile, "Your outfit really suits you. It's very green." "Humph, after annihilating my entire clan, you still dare to say that you want to fight me one-on-one instead of running for your life? How many lives do you have? Weak human god." Bang! Rumble! Suddenly, before Mike could finish his words, Wang Kai's figure had already arrived in front of him. With a flip of his hand, Mike was slapped down from the sky and fiercely fell to the ground. "I already said that he's very strong, but you just don't believe me. Stupid Mike." Carol's heart was filled with disdain. He turned his head and pretended that he didn't see anything. "Weak? Who's the weak one between you and me? You can't even block such a move, yet you still dare to brag and say that you're very powerful?" Wang Kai frowned and said with a disdainful sneer. Whoosh! Mike stood up from the ground and coldly raised his head to look at Wang Kai. Suddenly, he took out a long green spear. With a push of his feet, he charged into the sky. The power of God, Azura. 1. At the same time, Wang Kai did not dare to be careless. He transformed into his Azura form and disappeared with a flap of his wings. Universal Cleave. "Bastard, you can actually transform into Lord Azura." Seeing this scene, Mike suddenly turned pale with fright and hurriedly dodged, not daring to take it head-on. Looking at Wang Kai's current figure, his expression was extremely heavy. He was very clear that that move just now was Azura's ultimate skill. Once hit, no matter how strong he was, he would be cut in half. Heavens, he actually became an Azura. Below, Corel was astonished and nearly fell off the golden lion's back. He was truly shocked. "Humph, I am Azura. Mike, why aren't you kneeling down when you see me?" Wang Kai said coldly. Whoosh! The moment those words came out, Mike's body trembled and was about to kneel down out of habit. But in the next instant, he abruptly reacted and roared with a sullen face, "I'll kill you!" Whoosh! In an instant, Mike threw the long green spear towards Wang Kai with a flip of his hand. Along with a terrifying might, the friction caused the space to shatter. Sky-shattering feather. 1. Crack. However, Wang Kai flapped his wings and tore the space apart. The long green spear pierced through the space and disappeared. Bang! As the space closed, Wang Kai's figure flashed and arrived before Mike. He brandished his scythe and slashed towards Mike's head. Damn it! Damn it! Mike was extremely furious. He knew the sharpness of the scythe and did not dare to receive it head-on. He rolled to the side and swung his hand again. Whoosh! 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 Two long green spears attacked Wang Kai from the left and the right. Moreover, a circle of green magic array appeared above Wang Kai's head and under his feet. Wang Kai was shocked when he saw this scene, and he hurriedly flapped his wings and shouted with a grim voice. Feather shatters the firmament. Crack. Bang. In less than a breath, Wang Kai's figure had already hidden in the blood-red space. At the same time, the two magic arrays collided with the green spear and exploded, causing the ground to crack. A bottomless pit suddenly appeared. F*CK, it's so powerful. A magic array? Wang Kai, who was in the blood-red space, looked at the scene outside and was shocked. If he had not relied on the ability of Azura to dodge the attack, he would have been blown to pieces. Lord Azura's space, he can even use it multiple times. Even Lord Azura has to wait a few minutes before he can use it once. Corel was shocked. He swallowed his saliva and hurriedly rode the golden lion into the forest to hide. No matter who lived or died within their battle range, there would definitely be no good ending. If Mike died, Corel would definitely run away. I wonder if this move will work? Using the strength of a god of double cultivation against Mike. Wang Kai inwardly thought for a while. While in the blood-red space, he extended his hand towards Mike, who was standing guard outside. Heartless thought. Bang! Puff! In an instant, Mike clutched his chest. Blood had already burst out from his chest, and he knelt on the ground. His complexion was deathly pale. Cough, cough, even this move can... Plop! Mike did not even last for a few breaths before he fell to the ground and died. Congratulations to the host for successfully killing a god of triple cultivation. Gained 0 experience. Hearing the notification, Wang Kai was speechless. He immediately reverted back to his original appearance and walked out of the blood-red space. Looking at the corpse on the ground, he laughed in disdain. Simply too weak. Just this, and you call yourself a god of triple cultivation? You're not even enough to fill the gaps between Bensheo's teeth, okay? Congratulations to the host for successfully bragging. Gained 20,000 bragging points. Human god, I admit that you're really special. But don't forget that our 100-clawed flying sparrow race has 100 lives and 100 hearts. Buzz. Suddenly, an angry voice sounded from the sky, causing Wang Kai to frown. He hurriedly raised his head to look. He saw a green sparrow that covered the sky flapping its wings. Its claws were densely packed with nearly 100 of them. Furthermore, they were constantly wriggling. Just looking at it made one's scalp go numb. The system notification has already appeared. Why is it still alive? Wang Kai's face darkened. He was speechless. Chapter 11:21. Host, the 100-clawed flying sparrow is a god of triple cultivation. He can die 100 times. You will be rewarded for each kill. If you kill him in the magic world, your experience will reach the god realm. Whoosh. Hearing this, Wang Kai's eyes lit up. If he could bring this 100-clawed soaring sparrow to the magic world and then kill him, wouldn't he be able to become a true god of dual cultivation? This won't do. What if my strength changes in the magic world? The system said that I have to cultivate magic again to reach the god realm. After thinking about it, Wang Kai gave up on this idea. If he really became a dog, he wouldn't even have the chance to run away. After all, the magic world was the home of the 100-clawed flying sparrow. Human, you are really strong. I don't dare to fight against Lord Azura's move, so I have sent a message to Lord Azura. I hope you can survive under his hands. Ha! Suddenly, the 100-clawed flying sparrow laughed loudly. However, such words made Wang Kai's pupils shrink. He quickly shouted, "The power of God Azura!" Buzz. Feather shatters the firmament. Crack. The blood-red space tore open, and Wang Kai flashed into it. He was no longer in the mood to stay and continue fighting with Azura. If he was caught by Azura, he wouldn't even be able to take a step out of the magic realm, let alone go to the magic realm. At the same time, Feng Liyan and Xian Ku, who were waiting anxiously, heard the 100-clawed flying sparrow's laughter. Their faces changed. They looked at each other and wanted to rush over. What are you two doing? Do you want to die? Wang Kai's face darkened. He reached out his hand and grabbed them into the bloody space. Azura, what ability can I use to go to the magic world? Wang Kai urged his mind to communicate with the system. Host, you are using the ability to go through the bloody space and reach the end. You will reach the magic world. As the system notification rang out, Wang Kai didn't hesitate. He grabbed Feng Liyan and Xian Ku, one on each side, and quickly rushed towards the end. Did Azura really come? Feng Liyan asked in a deep voice. On the other side, Xian Ku was also worried. Yes, he should be here. But don't worry, he won't be able to catch up to us so quickly. Wang Kai grinned. With a tap of his foot, he sped up again. After running for an hour, he finally reached the end of the blood-colored space. Furthermore, there were no Azuras pursuing them on the way. Towards this, Wang Kai could be said to be extremely angry, and secretly sneered. F***ck your grandpa, you actually dare to play with Ben Shao? Suddenly, Wang Kai's expression froze as he stared at the gigantic circular magic array in front of him, as well as the gigantic blood-red figure standing in front of it. It was Azura. Human god, I've been waiting for you for a long time, Azura said emotionlessly. Little fire god? Wang Kai's face darkened. He suddenly discovered that there was a young man lying at Azura's feet. Upon closer inspection, he saw that it was Zhu Yan, the little fire god. Cough, cough. Damn you, you've really screwed me over. Not only did you not let me out, you even led him here. Zhu Yan spat out a mouthful of blood and stared at Wang Kai sullenly. Hearing this, Wang Kai's mouth twitched slightly. He flipped his hand and pulled Feng Liyan and Xian Ku behind him. Looking at Azura, he said in a deep voice, Are you here to kill me? No, I won't kill you. You want to go to the magic world, right? Do you want to destroy my lifeline? Or do you want to reach the divine realm of second cultivator? Azura asked indifferently. From his voice, aura, and demeanor, it was impossible to tell that he was a demonic god. It was just that his appearance was extremely terrifying. However, Wang Kai knew very well that the more such a person was, the more powerful he was. From Feng Liyan and Xian Ku, who were trembling behind him, he could guess this. Even the fearless Feng Liyan was frightened to such an extent at this moment. From this, it could be seen how terrifying Azura was when he was serious. That's right. Ben Shao can cut off your lifeline, but Ben Shao will definitely reach the divine realm of second cultivator. Wang Kai shrugged and said indifferently. At the same time, he was trying his best to think of a way to escape. You can't cut off my lifeline. However, I really want to make you stronger so that you can fight with me. For example, the gods of your human race, Fuxi, Nuwa, Pengu, Xian and V of the ninth heaven, and so on are all hiding. They don't want to fight with me. So, I'm very bored. Azura said indifferently. He didn't say that he could defeat Fuxi and the others. Instead, he said that Fuxi and the others didn't want to fight with him. Hearing such words, Wang Kai narrowed his eyes. He couldn't help but admit that this Azura was really a weirdo. He actually said it purely for a fight. Alright, Ben Shao agrees. When Ben Shao returns, it will be the time to destroy you. Wang Kai narrowed his eyes and said with a faint smile. Hee ha 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 ha. Azura suddenly laughed loudly. After laughing for a long time, he said in a deep voice, I hope you don't lie to me. Otherwise, I will go to any place that has your aura and destroy it one by one. Oh, any place that has your aura refers to any place that you've been to, any place that you've existed, buzz. As the sound of his voice faded, Azura's figure disappeared. However, Wang Kai's face darkened. Any place that he'd been to, any place that he'd existed in. Did it refer to the Fan Prefecture, Immortal Martial Domain, 8 Desolates, extraterritorial starry skies and so on? If that was really the case, then everyone would be wiped out by Azura. Anyone would be eaten alive by the army of demonic gods that he led. Is this the reason why you destroyed the gods of the Kunlun realm? Just because Fushi and the others didn't want to fight with you? Is that why you? Wang Kai gritted his teeth. He suddenly felt the pressure multiplying. This time, when he went to the magical realm, he had to reach the divinity realm as soon as possible. Also, whether he could sever Azura's lifeline or not, he had to give it a try. In short, such a dangerous Azura must not be allowed to live. He left? Fengli Yan's delicate body trembled as she asked in a trembling voice. The strong woman demeanor from before had disappeared. In its place, it was as if a little girl had seen a ghost. She was so scared that she was trembling. Aren't you very awesome? You've always been shouting that you're the best? Why are you so scared now? Wang Kai curled his lips and said in a rather speechless manner. Fengli Yan wanted to refute, but when the words reached her mouth, she couldn't say it. This time, she had really lost face. Okay, let's go. And you, Zhu Yan, are you coming with us to the magical realm, or are you going back to the clan of the gods? Wang Kai frowned as he stood on the huge magic array. I'll naturally go with you. Zhu Yan secretly glanced at Xian Ku. He gritted his teeth and wanted to follow. Follow your ass. Follow your ass. You even dared to have ideas about Bencheo's woman. It's already a blessing that I'm not killing you. Get lost. Wang Kai frowned. He turned his hand and slapped Zhu Yan out of the blood-red space. In the blink of an eye, a light flashed and the magic array spun rapidly. Fengli Yan and Xian Ku quickly jumped on it. In the blink of an eye, the three of them disappeared. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.